Under the bright lights and the roaring cheers of America's pastime, a dream unfolds. It's not just any game. It's the culmination of relentless drive, persistent passion, and the pursuit of greatness. Every swing of the bat, every pitch thrown, every base stolen is a step closer to something greater. For these athletes, it's more than just winning.
And he drives that one. Joey Gallo into the beach and out of here.
It's about becoming a legend.
Squared up, though, by Carroll, who drives it toward the gap in the left center field. In with the triple, Corbin Carroll.
In this moment, it's not just about playing baseball. It's about honoring the past while embracing your future.
And the future is on the field tonight.
What a beautiful, beautiful day to see the top players in the nation in the class of 2025. It's Chase Field. It's downtown Phoenix, Arizona. It's the 2024 Perfect Game All-American Classic. This is a preview of the 2025 draft. Hi there, folks, and welcome back. Glad to have you with us at the ballpark. We've got a collection of baseball knowledge that we're going to throw at you as we introduce these kids. Hunter Pence right next to us, a world champion and passionate about the youth space. On the far end, Steve Phillips, a professional player at a high level, then building professional teams at a high level, and he was with us during the entire national showcase. Danny Wexelman will join. My name is Darren Sutton. Steve, with all of your years around this game, you were able to experience PG National. You've seen now the very best of this class. What about this event stands out, the uniqueness of the Classic?
Well, I mean, first of all, the talent level of these young kids, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, having evaluated talent over the years, scouts are drooling about this draft class. The size, the strength, the speed, the power, from the pitchers to the position players, extraordinary talent. And for all these kids, this is sort of the end of the summer before their senior year. Now it's all about the business of getting ready for the 2025 season, getting ready for the draft, and what will be a very bright future for all of them in their baseball careers.
Hunter, you've seen these players all throughout the year. Heck, we've had a lot of them on our shows. It's been fun. One I want to pin you down on is Iowa native Sean Gamble, the #1 outfielder in the class.
Yeah, he's electric. He's got the electric hair, but he's arguably the best athlete in the class. He's got the 5-tool Dick's Sporting Goods Player of the Year. He's speed, he's power. He runs a 6.5 60. This kid slugged 690 over 11 PG events, and he's got that really great left-handed swing with a lot of upside. You see that bat-to-ball skills right there, and you can just see how short he is to the ball. He's got some power to groove with as well.
Yeah, he's an Iowa man and a Cubs fan. That's his favorite team, and hoping someday maybe he'll be able to wear that uniform. Steve, I'm going to let you be a scout and talk about a man that could nudge himself as a hitter, but he's a pitcher. Well, Seth Hernandez, he's incredible.
Two-way player, but pitching is really the name of the game. 6'4", 190 pounds. Seth Hernandez, this kid is long, loose, lanky, and a very whippy arm, an explosive fastball. Easy power. You see him throwing from the outfield right there. He's got high velocity when he does that too, but this delivery is vintage. The scouts love him. He is a guy that's an athlete on the mound, averages 95, 96 miles per hour with a wicked curveball. This kid has the makings of being a dominating front end of the rotation pitcher at the college level and quite possibly at the professional level. The 4th overall perfect game ranked player, the top pitcher in perfect game rosters. And so this kid is really electric. Looking forward to seeing him pitch tonight.
Watch him. No matter what you do, watch him. He will hit 100 today. It's going to be fun to see what he's able to do in Hernandez. Now, there's Matt Holliday. There's Jackson Holliday. You see him now in the big leagues as a baby, a PG alum. And then there's Ethan Holliday. He's spectacular. The #1 player in the class. He, too, is a PG All-American. Danny Wexelman spent a lot of time with us. She's the 4th member of our broadcast team. He is special, isn't he, Danny?
Yeah, I think that's one word you could use to describe him. I got to sit down with him, had a long conversation. No surprise, we did talk a lot about his family and his older brother, Jackson Holliday. And when it comes to family, it's so important to them, right? And we know how impressive Jackson has been, the #1 overall pick 2 years ago to the Baltimore Orioles. But what about Jackson Holliday, the big brother? I could tell you, but I'm going to let Ethan tell you about big brother Jackson.
He's always been the big brother that he watches my back. You know, he asks questions about what's going on in my life, and he's a great big brother.
What is something about him that maybe not everybody might know? Jackson the brother, not the pro ball player, but Jackson the brother.
He's very gentle. Like, he's a very soft-spoken. Like, make sure everyone's good. I don't know. I just remember, like, we played high school together, my freshman year, senior year, and I went through a couple struggles, and just him saying little things that had such a big impact on me, and like, he met me where I was, and the little things he would say were really important to me, and I think that's helped me over the last couple of years for sure.
That was just a piece of our conversation. He is so intelligent. He's so emotionally connected to his family. And by the way, guys, he also hopes to be the #1 overall pick in next year's draft, just like big brother Jackson.
Well, winning that down in Panama. So we're going to get to know these players. You're going to meet the future of the sport today. And certainly glad you're spending time with all of us at Chase Field in Phoenix. 2024 Perfect Game All-American Classic is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. By Rawlings, the finest in the field. By Pelotero, hitting just got personal. And by Launch Hydrate, win the moment. We've got some great partners with us in the great state of Arizona. We're excited about it. There is the aforementioned Mr. Holiday as the West squad in the good-looking blue uniform. You see the Launch logo, the Dick's Sporting Goods All-American logo. When you take a look at the West roster, it's presented by G-Form. A lot of players on there, Steve. Why don't you pick out 2 additional as you look at that roster that you're intrigued by on that side?
Well, Billy Carlson was the Rawlings Defensive Player of the Year. He's a shortstop, slick fielder. He can really pick it out there. And Kason Cunningham is a young man that can swing the bat. He's got some tremendous perfect game numbers over the years as he's developed his game here. And 2 guys to really look for moving forward in this ball game and in the future.
Hunter, Quentin Young. That's the same Young family as Dimitri and Delman Young. We love Dimitri. You and I both have interacted with him a ton. But when you talk about Quentin, he's 6'4", about 225, and yet runs about a 6'8", 60. A guy that size with that athleticism.
Yeah, it's a special talent. He's got a lot of big presence in the mound. He carries himself well, and Dimitri taught him well. You know, it's great to have a mentor that's been there, done that, and hit as well as Dimitri did. So it's going to be exciting to see his at-bats today and how he handles the pressure.
Allow us to introduce you to the man on the mound. His name is Landon Harmon. He wears number 51 like one of the honorary leaders here, Trevor Hoffman, wore. He's from a different part of the world where Trevor came from, out west. He's a Mississippi State commit, East Union Attendance Center. He stands 6'5". Easley Baseball Club, his travel team. Some of his goals for this year, would love to put on about 15 or 20 pounds of muscle. By the way, 15. He'd love to be academically top 15% of his class as well. So a man with high aspirations, and that's not uncommon, as 51 looks to be a number that he wears a lot. Look at that good-looking gold chain with the 51 hanging out.
Area 51, the mound, it's a great number and held true
like
by
that.
some great players in the history of baseball. Trevor Hoffman.
Let's go. Let's play. First pitch, 97 miles an hour out of the gates. Well, we talked about him. Meet Billy Carlson out of Southern California, Corona High School. He's a two-way player. There are 4 Corona High School athletes in this event. That's right, 4 from one high school.
Yeah, if I'm buying stock in any high school team this year, I think Corona High School is getting my investment because they have some studs here.
There's a pretty breaking ball. You can see the spin rate. Keep an eye on the metrics if you're on the scouting side and intrigued by it. Andy Wise, by the way, is the head coach of Corona High School.
By the way, not only a curveball, but on the outside corner as well. Command.
2-2 the count on Billy Carlson.
Like Harmon recognized at the award ceremony for adding the most to his fastball over time. I think at one point he was an 80-mile-per-hour guy. Now he's 97, 98 with that fastball.
Breaking ball. Billy's ready for it. He lines it into left field. It's a base hit. Skips away deep into the corner. Let's watch Billy run. He touches second. He's on his way into third. Lost that helmet. Carlson with the slide. 3 bases for the West squad and Billy Carlson.
Well, how about that? A little passion to boot, getting fired up. Lead off triple, 98 with an absolute, look at this, hammer. And 2 strikes doesn't fool him at all. Shoots it down the line, hustling all the way. I mean, Steve, you like that energy, that passion? First batter of the game.
Love it.
Wake him up, West Coast, baby.
Keeping his hands back on the curveball, and he was thinking 3 out of the box. Now, Eric Hines in left field had some difficulty with it, got by him, and you never saw Carlson hesitate as he raced around the bases.
Jason Cunningham is from Texas, the #1 player in that state. He was the Jackie Robinson Player of the Year award winner last night. And Cunningham with a base hit and an RBI. A brand new gold medalist, by the way, with Team USA down in Panama. The West squad leads it 1-0.
Wow, and I mean, out the gates, just 97, 98, and these guys are on time. Look at, he's ready early, takes a nice smooth swing, doesn't try to get big, shoots it in the hole, and that is what an approach.
And it doesn't get any easier as Ethan Holiday comes to the plate right now. What a stacked lineup here for the West.
The #1 player in the nation is Ethan Holiday from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Stillwater High School is where he will attend this year as he wraps up his high school journey. He is committed to play for his uncle at Oklahoma State. Josh, not sure if he'll make it there, Josh. We'll see.
Ooh.
It's an angry 97. He snuck it right by him, 0-2.
An angry 97, but Ethan did not get cheated like his family.
He's got to step out and put his shoes back on right now.
I think he lost a belt buckle.
Matt, his dad, had a Hall of Fame caliber career. Hunter knows it. He watched it up close. And Leslie is mom, a baseball wife, which means she's a superhero. That pitch misses just off the plate. You know, it's funny when you listen to Ethan, great conversation Danny had with him. Watch the whole thing on Perfect Game Weekly. He talks so much with respect about brother Jackson and how much he taught him. But he's doing the same now for his younger brother Reed, who's just 10. Inside corner, that's strike 3. A breaking ball that time with some good giddy-up spin.
Well, he's got a good breaking ball. There's no question about that. And he gets you looking for 97, 98, and he'll drop the hammer on you. Now, the one that we saw hit earlier hung over the middle of the plate. This one had some depth to it as well. You see Jackson Holiday, or Ethan Holiday, looking for it. It's a little bit of a late breaker right there, almost like a cutter it looked like, but able to get him to take the pitch.
Yeah, do that one a little bit harder. Beautiful pitch.
Xavier Nyans is from Mount Vernon, Washington, one of the top bats in this class. Oregon State awaiting his arrival. Mount Vernon High School. Travel ball, how about Trotsky, that great program? Abe Ruiz. His 96 dots the inside corner. Liana and Steve, his parents. He's been near the top of the rankings for a long, long time, which can be equally as difficult as someone who climbs the rankings.
Yeah, maintaining it once you reach the top is definitely a challenge, and he's continued to have good at-bats and improve his game. Look at that swing. I know he missed it, but it's just such a crisp, smooth left-handed swing, the classic, and he gets that extension.
It's
you can
simple.
see a lot of room for success.
Does move his head a lot.
That one skips by, electric and tough to hang on to, 95 miles an hour. And all the way to the backstop, that one goes. Omar Cerna is working. Cerna made a long run in that home run challenge. He's the Texan, one of the top catchers in the class. But I think it's tough, Steve, Hunter, either one of you guys. Like, when you're playing in an all-star game, to catch a guy for the first time is tough.
Yeah, I mean, when you're learning these guys on the fly and trying to understand them, and sometimes guys ramp it up a little bit more in situations you don't know it.
Pretty good pitch. Thought he backdoored that breaking ball. So the Gatorade Player of the Year is given out each year to the top, usually senior in a state. It's kind of common. That's who wins it. The man hitting won it as a junior, taking it away from all the seniors in the state of Washington. In other words, the State Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's impressive, and you can see why, Steve, like the scouts are so excited about this group of talent. It's going to be, the next year's draft is going to be a tough one because there's a lot of good players coming through high school, and you know the college level is elite as well. But these kids, this swing in particular is something you don't see out of high school very often.
On the mound, the son of Lamar and Nicole. He's got a couple of older sisters and a brother as well, as that one dives down and in. There's the first look at a changeup. By the way, our Pelotero spotlight with Xavier Nyans back there in the box, introducing some of the measurables on the athlete. Everyone feels like they're 6'4" this year.
They are all 6'4". It's amazing to me how big these kids are.
It's a big class.
That's a good at bat right there. I mean, really good at bat. I mean, he fell behind early. He fouls off 97 above the letters, staying alive, taking close pitches. Outstanding approach at the plate.
Yeah, and for someone, you know, facing 97, 98 with the big Uncle Charlie, the curveball, they aren't sped up. Their pace at the plate as hitters, which you have to have and you don't see very often, is very calm and confident.
Gavin Feen plays his travel ball for the San Diego Show. Luis Lorenzana, one of the great men who helps to run that program. He is a Texas commit, Gavin Feen. And he made quite a run, by the way. He kiddingly said, nobody counted on me being here in the semifinals of this home run challenge, but he showed some big power. He's been a 4.0 student all through high school. He wants to do it again this year. To the right side into foul territory. You look into a roof when you make a play here at Chase Field. Mason Braun did just that. Mason makes the play.
Well, Gavin Feen in that home run derby put on a show and lost to Josiah Hartshorn. But he was exhausted at the end of that. Like I was thinking to myself, I'd throw him 97 up in the zone and see if he can catch up to it, because he has to be tired after all those swings he had earlier.
Yeah, don't they have the home run derby on its own day in the major leagues?
Yeah.
Well stated, Hunter Pence. Well said by you. That one boxed by Cerna. Runners will move up to second and third. Big aggressive turn out front. Look at Cunningham just in case he didn't find it. The batter with these runners on second and third, Dean Moss. Dean Moss, a bi-coastal man. He is from the Bay Area. He is a big Giants fan, but he goes to school at IMG in Florida. Family going back and forth to visit. Dean Moss.
I got to talk to him a little bit before the game. As a Giants fan, I told him we appreciated that, and good luck today. Go get him. But what a talented young man, and awesome to meet a Giants fan out here.
Funny thing, Stephen Hunter, that he's most proud of right now, and he's always working. All hitters are always working. He's quite proud of who he is as a defender. I mean, this is one of the top 2 or 3 true center fielders in the high school game.
Love that athleticism, and he can make contact at the plate.
Kane and Maha, his parents. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said about his defense when you look at his scouting report. I thought it was very interesting. He said, I'm exceptional if underrated as a defender. So if you underrate me, I'm exceptional as a defender. He believes in his glove.
50% of the time it works every time.
Shoots that one to the left side, something on it, driven deep toward left field. It's down all the way into the corner. The West squad really coming alive. Moss taking 3. He better hurry. The head first slide. Out at third. Great job working together. Going to get that baseball Hines in left field. Coy James is who he worked with, and he zipped it on into Caleb Barnett. Dean Moss plates a pair. You can count both those runs, though. The West squad has won 8 of the last 9 games at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. How about that opposite field power?
Yeah, I just love the timing and the big rip, let it fly, shooting it the other way. A little bit of a never make the first or third out at third, but he's hustling and fired up.
At first, it was just a team. Now I can't imagine my life without them.
That coach changed our son, on the field and off.
What it would mean to start the All-American Classic would be awesome. I got my parents here, and just being able to be the best, because you know the best pitcher is going to start the game, and if I'm blessed to do that, I'm going to give it my all.
His name is Seth Hernandez. He is another one from Corona High School. Coach Andy Wise benefits BPA, his travel team. He's the #1 pitcher in the class. Steve Phillips gave a great breakdown of him, and he does get the start. Wants to be more physical in 24-25, more touch and feel on his pitching, and he'd love to be a first-round pick. As we take a look at the East Yeti roster, as he gets ready on the mound, Mr. Phillips, I'm gonna put your feet to the fire one more time. There's a whole bunch of guys. You'll meet them all. Every viewer will meet them all. Pick 2 that you're intrigued by.
Well, I'm intrigued by Jacob Parker. I actually handed him the SiriusXM Power Award yesterday. The power hitter of this group, legitimate light tower power, and he about broke my hand when I shook his hand yesterday. So that young man, I am really impressed by.
Coy James, who feels like in Perfect Game 17U, WWBA. For those of you casual viewers, that's a large travel ball event in Georgia in the summer. James will lead it off, and in that event, I believe he was able to play in 12 games for his team, the Canes national team, against the best travel ball players in the country. Coy, the North Carolina man, had 22 hits. No one's ever gotten to that number at that event. And he's healthy. He missed national. First pitch, dives low and away we go at 96 miles an hour to James. Advanced North Carolina, Davie County High School. Takes that one up and away, 98 miles an hour. James, an Ole Miss commit. That Canes national team is a really good squad, has been for a generation. Jeff Petty runs that program. And it zips that one in there, and it's lifted foul. A couple of back-to-back at 98.
And, you know, with this look at Coy James, you can tell he's done his homework. He's got his hands so tight to his body. This guy's put in work in the lab and dialed in the mechanics. Still a tall task against Hernandez.
3-time All-State performer in North Carolina as that slider spins away out of the zone. 3-1 the count. So a couple of guys that Coy loves to emulate, watch, learn from because they're whippy and athletic. Trey Turner, Bobby Witt. Those are 2 of his faves. Good fastball. Pretty good guys to emulate.
Yeah, they are. You know, he's got the body type a little bit like those guys, too. And so I'll tell you what, a tough one for North Carolina to get away, though, to go to Mississippi. You know, this kid in their backyard, he's some kind of athlete.
You can see the Bobby Witt.
Tried to make a play on a backhand holiday there, couldn't do it. We're going to watch another man run the bases. Eases his way into second. It's a double for Coy James. So Hunter Pence, these gentlemen brought their hitting shoes today.
I mean, and a lot of these events, you see the pitching dominate, especially, you know, the first 2 guys throwing 97, 98, and Hernandez running inside. But what a swing by Coy James, and looked like he was on everything. None of these guys are overpowered by this, and rips one down the line. That's a good at-bat.
You know, Hunter, the ability to pull your hands inside of that inside running fastball, they'd be able to get the bat head to it, not swing around it. Outstanding piece of hitting right there.
Absolutely.
Sean Gamble digs in. More on him. We'll bring in Danny.
Yeah, well, I want you guys to know that there was a little bit of a change in the stance, right? You see how wide he is right now. He said instead of shoulder width, he has gone a little wider. The reason he did this, he wanted to swing more on path, reduce the leg kick. And here's what's cool. Down at IMG, he worked with his hitting coach, and they tried to find a word, a cue for him. It's gather, so that he can gather himself when he's in the box. John Ford Griffin, his hitting coach there at IMG, but that's led to him being more explosive at the plate.
Absolutely. You love to have the gather, and it's a timing thing. And you saw a lot of these early hitters early in this game. You got to be ready before the pitcher releases the ball. And so the timing, and you have a lot of ways to work on that, but you want to gather early, and you have to be ready to swing before the ball leaves their hand at this level of velocity.
Des Moines, Iowa native, USA Prime, his travel team. 95, an easy 95, a little bit of arm side 2-seam run from.
And I'd still like to see him a little bit earlier. You know, this is the 5-tool player of the year. He's got the power and the speed. He's hit great. I'd still like to see him ready a little bit sooner.
Tough to deal with that at 96.
You know, Hunter, for hitters have never struggled because they're starting too early. Right, it's almost always because you're not starting early enough, right? So the idea of talking to hitting guys yesterday, you start uncomfortably early to be able to get that front foot down, to be able to get your hands in that launch position.
right there. You see him, he made a little bit of adjustment, maybe the 2 strikes, a little bit quicker, able to foul that ball off. But you're right, it was always a battle with me. I was always starting late, and unless I was doing it uncomfortably early and over-exaggerating it, and then all of a sudden the game slows down.
Sean, a 4.4 GPA in the classroom, a handful of advanced placement AP classes, which, goodness, that's challenging, along with taking on a high level of baseball. There's a lot to offer for this man as he is granted time. A Vanderbilt commit, where they ask academics of you too, Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's one thing I'm so impressed by for all of these kids in the interviews and the process, how important academics is to them and to their families as well.
I'll tell you this, I host a show every week with this man and watch him use his mind, Hunter Pence. I watch him use his mind while interviewing players and coaches. And I think Hunter is ahead of the game. Smart is cool, Hunter, for these players to be able to retain, to listen to others, and have their mind tuned.
Absolutely, it's important. As a scout, it would be important to me because you are playing a chess match every day. It's a game of playing the math, and smarter players are going to find ways to win. So it's important, and you always want to have that as a backup anyway, and you're going to have a life after baseball no matter how many years you play. So it's important, and it's great to see a lot of these kids really caring and taking care of their academics.
You know, and the other part of it is when you're an athlete and you're traveling as much as they are, budgeting time and making sure that, you know, you've got things done at certain times. That, you know, being an athlete and playing in sports, a lot of it is also teaching you to be a good student because you got to be organized to be able to make sure you get everything done that you're responsible for.
Meet Peter Mershon. He's from Taylor, South Carolina, another Canes national team. Jeff Petty player. Hits that one hard to the right side. Past the diving Kason Cunningham. And Peter with the single and an RBI.
A lot of RBIs when you go the other way. Doesn't try to do too much with this. Nice inside-out approach. And I want to back it up to the academics and how it plays out in baseball. Sean Gamble had a really tough at-bat, hits a grounder, gets the runner over with nobody out, and sets him up for the 3-hole hitter to do what 3-hole hitters do and drive in that RBI knock. That's team play, and that's how you get back in a ball game.
It's good baseball IQ.
One of the most powerful bats in this class is this man. He's reshaped his physique, really gotten lean. He stayed strong. He showed it in the home run challenge. This is Omar Cerna. He's from Pearland, Texas. An LSU Jay Johnson commit, attends Lutheran South Academy, plays his travel ball for Wow Factor National. And wants to be another guy in the classroom. Was hoping to have straight A's this year, be a role model for his siblings. Hernandez with a nice breaking ball 1-0, evens it at 1-1.
You know, Darren, one of the things that for young athletes to understand, the better student you are when you're being recruited, it's a gift to a head coach. If you're a player that suits and satisfies his academic standards without him having to get any assistance for you, that he can be somebody that you're like easily can get into a school, it makes it much better in the recruiting process. So do your homework.
Sooner, I'm sure, studying up on homework-wise Dylan Hernandez. At home, Dylan, Steve is his dad. Dawn Fox is his mom, and he loves his abuela. He says, my grandmother is such an important part of my life and his home. It takes a village when you raise a family like that. Seth Hernandez. Like I said, Dylan, I keep giving him the name of the great writer in Southern California. But Seth Hernandez, the right-hander, breaking ball falls down. So he falls, but then the pitch fell too.
That's good breaking ball. Now you don't. And if you can locate a slider like this in the at any level, this is a strike all the way, strike ball, and really tough pitch to lay off right there, Steve.
I mean, you throw it right where you threw the fastball before. Hitter recognizes fastball out of the hand, and then it breaks off the plate, and they swing, and the ball breaks beyond the bat.
Caleb Barnett, Mountain Brook High School in Birmingham, Alabama. This is another one. They're all 6'4" and above. He's above. He's 6'5" as a third baseman. Alabama Crimson Tide commit.
He's country strong, too, this kid.
And he was committed in 8th grade. The rules have changed now. You can't communicate on the recruiting scale as he drops that one in there until August 1st for those that are in their junior year. So sophomore ends, junior coming up, you can communicate. But he jumped ahead. And all the way back in 8th grade, Alabama, I got you, you got me, and he stays committed to them, the son of Stacy and Chris. Though I like the new rule, allowing players to develop, you know, if they want to go to a camp and meet a campus, but giving them a few more years to figure it out, I think, is not a bad thing. 1 and 2.
I think you're right, Darren. To your point earlier, is the later you commit, the more you continue. You know, you might think you have it made. Oh, I committed, and you know, it could de-incentivize you to continue to progress and work. And so I think it's good for these kids to wait a little bit longer and continue to grow.
1 and 2, the count on Caleb. So let me tell you, I told you he was smart. De-incentivize. That word's already been used.
Yeah,
That's a great word,
I'm
Hunter.
Googling it right now to try to make sure.
Is it a word? I don't even know.
No, it's a great word.
Like
It's not just a word. It's a great
to
word.
continue to improve.
I work with this guy every week. He's got his notebook out. He's taking notes from the great coaches.
Kind of a Vanderbilt SAT word.
It's funny. I threw my finger up in the air. I think he thought I was motioning. Please stop talking. I wasn't. I was blown away with what you said. I love the word. That one skips to the backstop. Runner moves into scoring position. Mershon is out there at second. Caleb Barnett, back of the box. Pretty breaking ball over the outside corner. There's some horizontal break of about a foot. High spin rate as well. Tough to get a clean frame because these hitters are ready unless you throw a pitch like that one. PG All-American. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona. From New York to Phoenix comes such a unique pitcher, Miguel Cime Jr. He's from Queens Village in New York. He goes to school in Brooklyn at Poly Prep Country Day. His parents are wildly devoted to his life. Dad putting aside a lot of journeys professionally to drive so that he can be available to drive professionally and then make sure Miguel is at all of his events. Really enjoyed getting to know him. And what we're talking about, as family takes this one in, what we're talking about, Steve Phillips, is a man who threw 98, 99 last fall at an event in Jupiter when he was playing up. He was playing up and threw 99.
Yeah, he won the top velocity award last night at the award ceremony in the banquet. The beautiful, I mean, what a special night on the field for all the players to have a banquet there. A really special event and to be acknowledged for what they've accomplished over this period of time. This young man's got an electric arm. I mean, just explosive stuff. He seems like a reliever to me, you know, because he's sort of a max effort guy and not the smoothest delivery, but he can rear back and he can chuck it.
Excited to see him go to work. Brady Ebel is his foe. He is another Corona High School man. Ebel is an LSU commit. His younger brother's one of the top players in the next class down, and 98 miles an hour for strike one. Trey, his younger brother, so right out of the gates, 98. Off the mound like an athlete at 98. Little underhanded flip. Hello there, nice play. And he flips it to first to Mason.
I give him 99 there, 98.7.
Yeah,
running it up a little
absolutely.
99 ski and Evo. His dad's the third base coach for the Dodgers right there. Look at that athleticism as well. Little sneaky big power, big quick feet as well. That's nice.
Yeah, his dad, Dino Ebel, the third base coach, as you said, for the Dodgers. Danny, what else do you have?
Yeah, well, Miguel C. May Jr., he was born in Boston. Guys, moved to Queens when he was 6, but he grew up wearing Red Sox gear, Patriots gear, right? And then at 8 years old, he goes to his first Yankees game. His Aunt Mildred, his dad's sister, took him there. So grows up the Red Sox fan, right? Goes to his first Yankees game for his 8th birthday, and the rest is history. Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, that's who he's a fan of. And by the way, you want to know how New York he is? He said, yeah, I go to the deli and I get a chopped cheese. That's just who I am.
Wow.
Do you guys know what a chopped cheese
Well,
is?
Danny, I know you do. You're a New Yorker, like an urban New Yorker in the city.
He's much cooler than I am, though, guys.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. You're pretty cool, too. Anthony Pack is very cool. He's from Lakewood, California, Millikan High School. Anthony's a Texas commit. One of 7 players to play for GBG Nationals. He drives that one to center field. The pitch was 99, 98 off the bat. I'd say that's just plain talent when I throw those two metrics out.
Power on power going after each other, and Anthony Pack does not look like a big power bat. We saw him homer earlier in a perfect game event going opposite field, but you know, when you've got this kind of velocity, you got to get started early and get that bat head out in front a little bit to try to make contact.
Yeah, one of the wild things is when you're facing 99.7, which I count as 100.
Yes.
Less is more. Short and quiet, let him supply the power.
Speaking of power.
All right, so we've got 100. We've got 100 a moment ago against the champ. The champ of the Perfect Game Home Run Challenge, brought to you by Launch Hydrate. And the fun part about this story, he was a right-handed hitter all through high school. When he was very young, he hit some left-handed. Tweaked himself, a little injury that had him flip back around. He just started again hitting left-handed 2 months ago. Just started again 2 months ago. Did it when he was young.
And in the home run derby, he was launching the ball today. I mean, it was unbelievable, the power, strength this young man. Look at the strong lower half in him. He was at the Major League All-Star game in Texas and was in the home run derby and tied with Jacob Parker there in the high school home run derby.
I mean, he might not have a nickname, but I'm calling him Tank. Because
Some
he
of the
hits
swings
tanks. Look at this. Oh,
Look at that. That's a walk-off right there.
Tank is mad.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm calling that 99 over the inside corner. Zippity-doo-dah.
Up and into a left. That's a tough pitch to hit right there for anybody, but up and into the left-hander right there.
3-0, that's a good take.
Look at that. Yeah, it is. Look at that smile on his face.
That one skips in there low again. So Hartshorn, by the way, who's a SoCal guy, Orange Lutheran High School. R.J. Farrell is head coach, plays his travel ball for USA Prime National. His goal in the next year is to graduate from OLU, as they call it locally. With that 4.0 that he's carrying right now, he wants to take it to the finish line. Here's big Quentin Young. This man I was asking Hunter about earlier. Nephew to Delman and Dimitri, long time. Both first-round picks, by the way, the Young brothers. 6'6", 225. I'm going to go with this. Don't tell me, you guys do not tell me that if these two guys walked up to the service entrance at an NFL stadium and just said, we're with the team, that they wouldn't let these two guys in, the pitcher and the hitter.
Yeah, they'd let them in. They'd let Major League Stadium, the NBA maybe, they'd let them in.
They're athletes, and they are presences to be reckoned with.
Oh, a grunt as he dots the outside corner. That is strike 3. Hammer! And a little bit of emotion, too. He touched 99. He showed a good breaking ball.
And how about a located slider to sizzle you? Woo! Yeah.
Sizzle that steak. Chop steak.
Stepping to the plate, PJ Morlando.
I believe this is where it all began.
And here comes the pitch.
And this is the sweetest sound in the world.
Of course, to be able to swing a bat quick, you're going to have to be strong.
I believe you gotta rise before you can shine. That there is no agony worse than defeat.
The question is, does he have the bat speed? Does he have what it takes?
And an angel watches over me.
And swing it. Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging.
I believe this will all be worth it.
And the next pick in the 2024 draft is...
We were throwing that athlete thing out there. Darren, Hunter, and Steve, and Danny, welcome back to the All-American Classic about people that walk into professional buildings. Let me go with NBA now. This is Cruz Schoolcraft. He's an uncommitted athlete, still a two-way player, Hunter. 6 feet 8 inches tall. He can throw it high 90s. He can hit it over 100.
I mean, look at the body control at 6'8". You just don't see that in high school. Look at the way he's walking around. He's got just commands all 6'8", and for a kid in high school to be that big and that in control and of his body movements, it's impressive.
It really is, right? To be able to repeat your release point when you're that big and have that big moving parts, to try to get that hand to the right spot for a release point on a consistent basis is very difficult. Basketball player too, very good athlete. We watched him earlier in the event in early July, and man, he has really good stuff and poise on the mound.
From Sunset High School in Portland, Oregon, USA Prime, his travel team. His foe first, Eric Hines out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Star for the East Coast Sox travel ball team. That one zips in and off the plate. It's interesting when you listen to Schoolcraft. He talks about what he wants to accomplish this year. I'm intrigued by all of their goals. He said, I still want to learn more about how my body moves down the mound and how I can become more efficient. That's a stated goal.
It is. You know, I mean, again, think about when you're that size, right? Extension toward home plate. It's one of the things that pitchers strive for. The closer to home plate you release the ball, the more the velocity, the appearance of the velocity, the perceived velocity gets on the hitter.
Close stance for the man that is nicknamed Puppy, and behind the plate that almost looked uncomfortable for a moment.
When the catcher's like ducking and dodging, you know it's coming out funky. 96.8 from the 6'8" coming down extension.
Well, you make a great point, Hunter, just by adding that last word, extension. 96.8 may actually look more like 100 to the catcher.
I mean, he is getting down the mound with all 6'8", and it's long arms as well. So that's got to feel like he's halfway to the home plate before he releases it.
2-2 goes down and jumps on a slider. Gobbled up, long throw. Was a pretty throw across the diamond from that third base spot. Xavier Nyans is over there working. And number Nyans made a nice play.
Yeah, let's take a look right here. Nice little change up. Down, gets the ground ball, and Nyans, look at the hot work, little hop, little Cal Ripken hop, fields it cleanly, makes a nice throw. How about that? Let's play some ball.
He's a player.
He's got
Nyans a player. Yeah, good swing, good hands, good feet.
Little swagger, has a little bit of.
The Parker brothers are playing in this game. First up, dealing with that nasty slider, is Jacob Parker. They're both from Purvis, Mississippi. JoJo, his brother, who we'll meet in just a bit. Both are at Purvis High School. Breaking ball, ground ball out to second. He cut off that last hop with a little underhanded flip, making the play in time for the out. Eli Willits, the Oklahoman, out there at second base.
Yeah. Schoolcraft gets himself 2 ground balls, and for me also just the looseness, how relaxed he is, and it's coming out kind of an effortless 96.
Effortless, and it just comes out of his hand with life to it. He doesn't probably mind too much. He got a couple left-handers he's facing this inning too, right?
I'm sure they love it. It's kind of crossfire as well.
So this athlete may be the story of the national showcase. He's the brother. He is the Purvis brother, and both from that same hometown, but he was the one that was ranked a couple hundred points behind his older brother until the national showcase came. And there wasn't anything, Steve, that he didn't do at a high level.
He did. I mean, he made plays defensively. He ran, he threw, and put the ball in play with quality at bats.
Good slider, tough to deal with. 1-2 the count on JoJo, as he is known. One of the reasons the ranking stood that way is he devoted a lot of his time early on through high school, and good for him, to football too. Now a little bit more focus on baseball only, and he jumped 300 points in the rankings.
Got to meet his parents, and just such nice people yesterday. I got to give Jacob the award, and so I met them after the ceremony yesterday and had really nice conversation. They are so committed to these boys.
Good breaking ball, misses away. Mom Michelle is strong and a leader of the home. Dad Jop, as he is known, Joseph, is a judge, has been in the legal system for a long time, and has been in a wheelchair his entire life, and complete leader of that family. A true inspiration what Dad has done, and shown his sons that there really don't need to be any excuses for anything. I love, like you, Steve, meeting the family and both of them, and I'm glad you got to meet them. A little bit more, by the way, on the Parkers. Danny's, I'm sure, knowing a lot more.
Yeah, well, we're talking about JoJo right now. He went to court with Dad last week, actually. He wanted to sit in and see Dad do his job. He said it's so cool, but it gets intense. The only thing in their hometown, guys, is the school and the courthouse, D.
I just want to make sure he just went to court as a visitor, though. He wasn't called to court, right? I mean, that'd be the last thing you'd want to do is have to go to court.
Yes.
In front of
just
your,
a quick fact check.
In front of your dad.
It was bring your son to work day, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly that. I mean, how cool
It wasn't
is that,
like
though?
Law and Order where you hear the dung dung. It wasn't that, right?
Thankfully, no. That's why he's here.
His dad and not guilty.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. I'll always water down a really good hit. Josh Gibbs. Let's meet Josh. East Cobb Astros, his travel team. Georgia Bulldogs. Charlie Condon moves on. Josh says, I'll come join the program in a couple of years. 25th ranked player in the nation.
Well, and Drelton Simmons looked to him, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, good call.
Just got a piece of that one, fouling it off at home plate. Forsyth Central, which is north of Atlanta, is high school. Taking a minute to shake things off. Trent Grindlinger is our catcher from Huntington Beach High School.
Yeah, and to be a catcher, you better be tough. How about a foul tip off the inside of your thigh? Woo!
And Grindlinger has a younger brother that's, I think, a sophomore right now that is one of the top players of that age group.
His younger brother's number 2 in the class. Was the MVP of the 14U Select Festival last year.
Got a chance to meet his parents, both boys' parents. And in fact, the younger brother is here at the event.
I think he posted up for a couple of innings in that high school all-star game on Friday, which means he played up a year, which was fun and deserved. Josh Gibbs is the son of Joe and Tim and the sibling to Nathan and Ryan. He loves watching Ronald Acuna Jr. play. That's his guy. A lot of Georgians feel that way. They'll snap throw. Grindlinger bounces around behind home plate. The one thing about Gibbs is the athleticism. These are all unique and great athletes. This is a 4-year varsity letterman on the baseball side, but also a very decorated basketball player, too.
Got point guard written all over him.
Ooh, tough call for Gibbs right there.
Now, Hunter, you know, his stride, his front foot sort of opens up a little bit, right? He's close to the plate, and that front foot opens, which to me, I think he's going to have to maybe keep that closed some to cover the outside corner.
Got a little bit of mechanics, so you can see it get cleaned up a bit, but some good fast hands.
Changeup over the outside corner sets up 96 running to the glove side. 6 feet 8 inches tall. These guys gave us the word extension. call to Cam Appenzeller. He's from Chatham, Illinois, Glenwood High School. And when you ask him who he is, he says, and these are his words, "I'm a very loose and easy pitcher, very projectable. I'm able to throw all 3 pitches consistently for strikes, and I throw deceptively hard." We'll get to watch him work right now.
He can scout himself pretty good, huh? He give you the dose. That was pretty nice.
And projection, when I look at him, right, I look at projection. He's 180 pounds. He's going to fill out. That body's going to start to fill out a little bit, and when he does, he's going to add velocity.
You guys were talking about Rowdy Red a moment ago when he was getting beat up behind the plate. Trent Grindlinger hits now. Huntington Beach High School, Team Elite, his travel team. And a Mississippi State commit. And a nice breaking ball. 0-2.
Rowdy Red. Now let's see the 2-strike approach.
Kind of a side-to-side dip and dive from dugout to dugout on that pitch. Grindlinger's parents, Karen and Adam, Steve was saying he met him. The older brother is Brad, and the younger talented brother is Jared. A bouncing ball out to the right side. That's an easy chances. That one is flipped on over. Kelvin Paulino has moved in and is playing some second base now. Flipped it over to Dylan Debovic, who is at first. There's Paulino Jr.
Appenzeller, it's easy out of his hand too, right? It's just smooth, easy delivery. It's a surprising, to his point, he throws surprisingly hard. It's 95 miles per hour he's throwing right there. And he's 180 pounds and like 6'4", 6'5". He's going to fill out. It's going to be power stuff at some point.
Yeah, deceptively hard, and when you're throwing 95, if that's deceptively hard, it says something. But it does. It seems like it's going harder than his delivery, and that gets on the hitters quick. We'll see how the top of the lineup does, because they were on the 97 in the first.
How is anybody on 97 at this
know.
age? Blows me away. Carlson, pretty changeup, locked him up that time.
Perfect location, gets the call right there. Carlson doesn't love it. Pretty far out there. Nothing you can do with that one. He's like, no, no, no.
But he knew there was a risk on it.
Too close.
Boy, that's an easy 95,
It really is, yeah. It's easy down the mound, and then the ball just explodes.
And I think projectable is another great word for him, because you can just see he could put some meat on those bones, and that means there's a lot more room for mass equals gas.
Number 3 overall shortstop in the land, Billy Carlson, patiently works himself a walk. The Vanderbilt commit. Remember, he tripled first time up, the son of Billy and Mary. Carlson, by the way, did just about everything high 90s at PG National. Fastball 96, exit velocity 96, infield arm for Carlson, who's at first, 99.
You know, for a major league organization, when you're here scouting these players, it is such a gift to have showcase events like this. You know, you think about when these kids go home to play in their high school leagues, the average fastball might be 84, 85, right? But they've experienced a high-end, high level of performance. And so when you draft one of these players and they then start to face the elite of the elite that get drafted into professional baseball, you've got a much better idea about how they're going to compete. And you feel like there's less risk when you could take a high school player today than maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think this is why we're seeing such younger talent in the major leagues be so major league ready so quickly, because you know what sharpens iron?
Iron sharpens iron.
Sharpens iron, and you want to play against the best to improve yourself.
Cunningham, somehow an incredible play in the middle of the diamond on a short hop. Josh Gibbs, are you kidding me? The funkiest of all spins off the bat of Payson Cunningham. For years, we've been looking for that play of the game at the Classic. We might have had an early entry. Mr. Gibbs, you have arrived in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when they throwing the fastball. Too much shit I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip. Got old problems with a friends new.
Corbin Carroll flashing back. A triple at the All-American Classic to get the game started right. On to the big leagues, onto this ballpark. Carroll then proceeded to own his tour around the bases. Little did we know that the MVP was previewing what he would do here as the Rookie of the Year for the team that played all the way to the World Series.
Quite a talent, and there's just been so many great big leaguers and great young players that are forged through the fire here at PG, getting sharpened by the best in the country, East versus West.
One of them is Brett Crossland. You know what's fun? Look, he stayed at the team hotel, but he's home. This is his home ballpark. He's a fan of this team. Now he gets to pitch here. Mountain Point High School, Phoenix, Arizona. One of his travel teams, Chi-Town Cream, a Texas commit. He is a big-bodied, hard-throwing right-hander, and he's dealing with a man in Bud Coombs who is committed to go to Maryland to play football and baseball. Both coaches have welcomed his commitment. And by the way, right now, it's football prep season. Good slider, 1-1.
Boy, to be a two-sport athlete, now I was, and I liked drafting two-sport athletes. I think every sport teaches you something different, and football gives you a level of grit and toughness to be able to push through when you're hurting a little bit, or when it's August and your legs are a little tired and you just don't want to handle anymore. You always know there's a little bit more to go to, and I think you sort of harness that when you're a football player.
From Mechanicsville, Maryland, as that fastball hits the outside corner at 94 miles an hour. Coombs, a great story. We'll tell more of it. Plays for the Dirtbags, but this is a tough heater to deal with.
Wow, and it's just kind of that axe thrower, just straight 12 and playing like that four-seam ride and paints it on the outside corner. Love to see the command when you got the adrenaline pumping here at the Classic.
South Bend, Indiana, the home of Mason Braun, Kane's national team, as that one sails high and away. Dee, what do you have on Crossland for us?
Yeah, well, you mentioned his big body, right? And he's been putting on weight. Got a nutritionist to create some meal plans, eating a lot of carbs, a lot of protein, eggs, chicken, steak, right? I said, well, what's your cheat meal? Looked at me right away, didn't even blink. Waffle House, the all-star pick on the menu, of course, right? And I loved it. I laughed so hard. But, you know, on the mound, he said, too, catch play has become so important for him. That's been a game changer when it comes to his success on the mound.
Well, I love that, as that one's rolled hard to the right side. Mason Braun with the base hit. We'll pause with a follow-up because I'd like to have these gentlemen take a look at that pretty swing of Mason Braun as he shoots the hole. Young man out of Penn High School and an LSU commit.
And you know, you just talk about presence. That hitter face gets ready early, gets a pitch over the plate right there, kind of sinking away from him, and just takes his A swing, takes his rip, and you know, kind of rolls one into the hole, but he'll take a knock.
Definitely take that. Kidding me? But you're right, he did get started early, right? Got that front foot in a position to be down on the ground, ready to rotate.
Son of Scott and Nicole, Mason Braun with a base hit. Coy James gets another chance and sees 93 over the outside corner.
Boy, I love when big power right-handers can throw to the glove side, right away from the arm to the glove side, away from the right-hander.
Yeah, and he's getting the call from home plate umpire Boucher. So you know, if you're going to give it to me, you get that call and extend a little bit more. Let's extend a little bit more and see if you can get the chase.
Michael Boucher, as Hunter said, works behind the plate along with Mike Bell, John Flanagan, Steve Castillo, our All-American Classic umpires today. Good spot for that pitch and great velo. So he's ranged from 94 to 97. He's actually changed speeds on his fastball.
Well, you know what? You get two strikes. You're looking to get the strikeout. You're going to go up in the zone with it. And so he reared back and just threw it by him up there. That high fastball. So hard to catch up to that. It looks good, but it is so difficult as the bat head swing goes below your hands when you swing. It's hard to get the top of the, or make any level contact with the baseball.
And Steve, I just want to say, like, his mechanics just look so sound, and it looks like he also has a feel for pitching. He's not throwing it that hard till 2 strikes. He's trying to locate inside, outside, and then when he wanted to get the chase up, he ramped up for the high heater, and he's got a lot of that 4-seam spin carry. It is a polished high school pitcher if I've ever seen one right here.
Meet Sean Gamble. I know Hunter introduced you to him when we came on the air, but these are some deeper dives statistically for the man who is all Midwest until school starts. Then he's down in Florida at IMG. And he's one of those players. Look, they all love the game, but most of them love to play it only. He loves to watch it. He's one of those younger players as he takes a strike that will watch 9 innings, sit and watch 9 innings and see what he can learn. That's not the norm with this younger generation, but he's that guy.
Yeah, and there's a lot to learn from watching. You can just, there's so much to absorb from big league ball games, even the college level, and students of the game are what you want.
Hey, by the way, this is a perfect time. Hunter didn't mean to tee me up, but every single Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern, Hunter Pence and I host a show devoted to the college game, Perfect Game College Baseball. Go find it, go watch it. I mean, you can watch an archive, but it drops and debuts live 3 o'clock Eastern every Thursday. And he's a great co-host.
A lot of info, a lot of golden info. Hey, that's the closest we've come.
Gamble fouls that one back.
But some of the greatest minds in baseball and some of the greatest talent. There's a lot to learn from the wonderful successes throughout our nation. And to me, college baseball coaches are some of the greatest leaders in our country.
Hunter and I, this week's episode, talked to Eric Backage, the former Michigan head coach, now the head coach of Clemson. Ooh, changeup and a big reaction. No spin at all, by the way. If you're curious what spin rate means, high is good for fastballs and breaking balls. Low is good for changeups. That was a dead fish. What makes this game great are the locals, right? Why not come to the yard? You got a free game. You can bring them all in. They've opened up the goodie stands. I mean, there is food to be had. Now, I'm not coming to the game, Mom and Dad. I'm making it clear. I'm not coming unless you're buying me those nachos.
Get you some nachos in a ball game. You can't beat it.
With the glow-in-the-dark cheese. I mean, there's nothing better than that.
Buddy.
I got a chance to meet in depth Cooper Rummel. You can listen to SiriusXM MLB Network Radio tonight and hear a great interview from Cooper Rummel after all the big league action ends. But the one thing that was exciting to learn from him, look, he pitched on the back end of a couple of big wins in Panama, helped them win with 2 saves, a gold medal for the 18U national team. But this is a guy that's studying everything. He's studying who he is. He looks forward to winning a state championship he hopes at Dripping Springs High School. But what struck me, Steve and Hunter, is that when we wrapped up our interview, he said, "Are we done recording? I'd like to stay on for a sec. And can you give me some pointers? How did I do in the interview?" How about that?
Right. Just a student of the game of life, yeah. And he wants to be a better interview, a better pitcher, a better, a better student, a better member of the community. And You got to respect it. The young ones, man, a lot of the kids here, really impressive how they care about every detail of being a great baseball player.
Steve, he said this year, too, that his biggest growth, and I love this simple statement, that he became a pitcher from a thrower. He went from a thrower to a pitcher.
For a lot of kids, that's really the key. You know, they can face high school players that aren't quite their level. They can just rear back and throw it by them, right? They don't learn anything by doing it. They can just overpower them. But to understand how to make it work, how to command pitches, when to tunnel pitches, where to throw the ball, what you're sequencing, that's when you learn how to pitch.
He said, I got big and strong and added velocity, and that was great. That was a lot of fun, but I was still a thrower, and there wasn't really a plan. And so I realized, okay, now I am bigger and stronger, and I want to maintain that and get more whippy and more flexible. But it's time for me to take all this strength and do something a little more productive with it.
You're absolutely right, and that's mastering deception. Perceived velocity, location, 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 and right there, located that one into the mitt by Ethan Holiday.
And number one player in the class sets him down. Good high right, 2,300 spin on this fastball.
Yeah, that's painted away.
That's got some life on it right there, too. And it's got that late life where it sort of jumps at the home plate out of his hand. He's a brute on the mound, this young man.
All-state pitcher at the 6A level in Texas this past year. As that breaking ball is high and inside to Xavier Nyans. Nyans fun, really fun. Go check out Perfect Game TV. Just search and watch a great feature that Danny Wexman produced with him. But he is some kind of specialist. He drives that one down the left field line toward the corner that baseball goes. And, well, he gave that one home run distance, oppo pole.
Yeah, and the thing about Nyan's swing is that extension. He really, he kind of bars that bottom hand, but then he's in the zone for a long time, and it's that extra click. We talked about extension pitching. It's the same with hitting short to long through.
But he's so easy taking pitches, too, right? He doesn't jump. He's not jumpy at all.
Yep.
That calmness, and it's hard in these sort of events, and a guy throwing 95, 96, not to jump at the ball, but he just keeps, that's going to leave a mark.
Hopefully
slider.
Didn't get him too bad. A little ankle biter.
Hard slider down and in. Kind of a slurvy type action with late break. Usually gets a lot of swing and misses with that one, but that one too far.
Yeah, you want to talk about the back foot. He goes front foot and catches the right shin there, and Nyans takes it like a champ. Knocks him down, maybe catches a little bit of the guard, hopefully, but still that one's not going to feel good. Some of the worst ones are actually sliders that catch you in the leg versus even some heaters, because that spin digs in. Hopefully he's all right. Looks like he's good to go.
He was going to throw the best slider he's ever thrown right there and just pulled it.
Overcooked it.
Oh, I like that, Hunter. I've never heard that one. Gavin Feen hits one hard, backhanded play. Leaping, unable to dig it out. Good effort out there at short, though. Really nice range. Calvin Paulino Jr., who was playing second base last inning. But Mario Magana just couldn't backhand it.
Well, it's a ball. He goes to his backhand on the play, and you're not going to get two right here. And so the idea is make sure you get one on the backhand and be able to field it and get the force out at second base. And I think he had a little more time to plant and throw, just thinking one instead of trying to be so quick to get the double play.
Dean Moss's turn again, his second at bat, as that fastball is in and off the plate. So Moss had a beautiful approach, opposite field with power, took it all the way into the corner. Ended up being a couple of bases, a double, couple of RBIs. He was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple.
And the thing I like about him is ready, early, loose, and sexy. Look at the rhythm. It's a fluid swing. Ooh, gets a tough call right there. That's a good take. But the body language is loose. He's not tight, and it's a smooth swing. It's a fluid swing.
Cooper Rummel, his foe. These are two talented athletes here as he spins and takes a look. Rummel, by the way, top 6% of his graduating class right now in high school, and a 4.6 GPA in the classroom. Full course load this year of AP classes as a pretty pitch wraps over the outside corner. Senior year, a lot of times, nothing wrong with it. You dial it down, your classes, you focus more on baseball. Pitches like this.
Yeah, and he's got an up and in heater that could have been in off. Just two great pitches right here for Cooper Rummel.
Way inside, but instead of that half-day schedule, it's a full-day schedule for Rummel, all AP classes this year.
love the dedication to his education. And for Moss right here, his education, he's got 2 pitches in and 1 away. You can't cover everything here, Hunter.
Well, yeah, 2 strikes, but I like, look how tight he is. He's almost on the batter's box.
Yeah.
He's on the white line.
And he rolls a fastball the other way. They'll get 1. That's all they'll get with good speed coming up the line again. Nice effort, good range, slowing down the game, Calvin Paulino Jr.
But right there, just sometimes you got to tip your cap to the pitcher, but he didn't. He still didn't strike out. He gets a pitch a little bit off the plate. He got 1 called in tight, got 1 called up and away, and he just gets on the plate and is like, I trust my hands more than I trust the umpire. Doesn't get a hit, but you still got to respect the at-bat.
Brady Ebel time again. Ebel skies that one. Coming off the mound, he says, I've got it. Rummel says, get out of my way because I've got it. I got a full AP course load. I got a 4.6. I'm practicing on my interviews. Let me just do more. Let me play third base as well.
While you sleep, it's time to raise up, show that even we weak. We don't turn the other cheek. I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. If you don't take
It's the Perfect Game All-American Classic. It's the Yakkertech Home Run Challenge highlight as we take a look back. Fien was great. I mean, he's the one that no one expected to be there, Steve, but there he was to the very end.
Yeah, he's got a nice swing, too. Nice level stroke, good balance at the plate. He was exhausted coming through that home run derby, but he put on a great show.
And then the man who wasn't supposed to hit left-handed until he had to switch to hit left-handed, the winner.
Yeah, he bullies the baseball. He bruises it right here. When he finally hits the winner, it's a walk-out, it's a drop bat and celebration. And what I really loved was how all of the other players celebrated Hartshorn when he won the home run derby. So clearly he connects in a way with some of the other players who are here. There's not jealousy, there's not that, but they're buddies hanging out. They really, they jumped all over him in celebrating.
I mean, that is Tank. I like that he bullies the baseball. This guy's, biceps. Never should wear sleeves unless he has a baseball uniform on.
I mean, look at these kids. They're from all over the country, and they're here for showcase events, but they celebrate each other. I love that.
Good teammates.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time, plenty of whether it be high school games because there's a lot of regional foes or plenty of travel ball games. They can be foes a lot of other times, but why not enjoy one another here? This is River Hamilton. You're going to enjoy watching his work, folks. He is one of the top pitchers in this class. The arm is electric. Hamilton has a big personality. He's from Wood Village, Oregon, Sam Barlow High School, Bombat Northwest, his travel team. And dealing with Peter Mershon. Hamilton, an Oregon State commit. He would love to be the Gatorade Player of the Year in Oregon this school year.
Kind of rubber bandy. Everything looks kind of herky-jerky. Definitely, wearing number 99. Probably not the most comfortable righty-on-righty at bat right now.
Peter Mershon, big swing, fouling that one off.
Well, his first at bat, Mershon took a 97, 98 mile per hour fastball, drove it base hit to right field. Didn't try to do too much with it. And he's seeing some velocity in this at bat too. Saw a couple breaking balls, and at some point going to get that heater.
Mershon singled in a run his first at bat. Just in and off the plate, Gail Hamilton is Rivers' mom. Isabel Griffin, Chase, his siblings. Joe Kelly of the Dodgers, you watched him pitch before, folks. That's who he loves watching pitch. He loves his competitiveness of Joe Kelly. Bouncing ball hit hard. Foul ball would have been extra bases. 97 off the bat.
And Mershon, man, he's got some quick hands.
He
Two
does.
really tough pitchers right here, but look at that, just ripping that one. Almost a double, just missed it. Still going to be battling here with 2 strikes.
Brian and Tracy Mershon, mom and dad, a large family of siblings. One of 7 Mershon children. As that one misses outside. David Mershon just starting his professional baseball career. So he's enjoying learning kind of what happens next through Big Brother's eyes. Dealing with number 99 right now. Why not just throw it?
All right, so he saw a fastball right there, right? So he threw him a fastball. Does he look fastball again?
I mean, you just trust your approach. Don't overthink it. Don't change where you were.
Here comes the fastball.
He did throw him the fastball. He hit it 97 the other way.
So Mershon, he's gone foul line to foul line, foul balls. He's piecing together a winning at bat right here.
Well, those guys who are great hitters hit from line to line, right? Yeah. That ability to take the ball away, know what the pitcher's trying to do, and punch it into right field, and then take the one inside, pull your hands in, and pull it to left field. And obviously, a lot of that is based upon an approach that is going back up the middle and then reacting and adjusting otherwise.
Went around on a hammer breaking ball, a slider at 83 miles an hour. Danny, go!
Yeah, this is your Turtle Box game break. Omar Cerna Jr. here. You go from 14U Select Fest to the Classic. What is this experience like?
It's a blessing, you know, coming out here to play with the best players in the country. It's just an overall great experience.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Guys.
Good stuff, Danny. Thanks for doing that. Big Omar Cerna. As I said, guys, he's kind of really tight. That waistline has gotten smaller. The shoulders have gotten bigger. He's a lean, strong power hitter. Am I walking you up in the big leagues with a couple of quick questions for you? You liking that?
I mean, I respect it. And then he gets quick pitched on the first pitch, and he's not even ready to hit.
And it's
River knows what's up.
And it's 0-2 before you know.
I mean, that's not
right.
Oh, hopefully he can gather himself here. But I can just tell you, just by watching how he's approaching each of these pitches, the base, this is just an amazing approach. Look at the rhythm, how balanced he is. He's gonna be a great hitter wherever he goes. I like where he's at already.
Yeah, battled some injuries this summer. He's back to 100%, which is exciting. Had a blow-up summer last year. Junior National Showcase, a lot of big events. Plays for Wow Factor National, his travel team. Texan. Jumping fastball at the plate, 94 miles an hour, strike 3.
It really is amazing to me how hard these kids throw. And, you know, 94 up in the zone with that life. It sort of tails in over the plate a little bit, but it's got that late life that it's hard to center on the bat. That, you know, you think you're going to center it up, and then at the last minute it gives that little bit of movement that moves it on the label, and you get soft contact.
You know, and you cannot be comfortable. I like River Hamilton. He's kind of leaning back, kind of feel like the gunslinger. It's a nice slow rotation, it's a nice slow build-up, and then he just unleashes it. See that lean back? And it just creates a lot of angles with his slider, and then the fastball just running horizontal. You can see about a good foot of horizontal run.
Great big exhale. In command of his breathing even as he rushes off and leaves that breaking ball behind to Caleb Barnett. Stacy and Chris, his parents. Bryce Harper, his favorite player. Why? He says his energy and the fact that he's a great teammate. I noticed that, how he plays and helps his entire bench out. Outside, he patiently looks at ball 4. So a couple of strikeouts and now a base runner.
Yeah, overthrowing a little bit, right? Just trying to do a little too much. He's going to pull the front shoulder open and pull the, yank the ball, his arm cross body there.
Eric Hines Sr., Jennifer Hines, dad and mom, younger brother Caleb Hines. Family is big on celebrating birthdays. Every year they go all out for one another. All 4, all big birthdays, mom and dad included. Life can be challenging enough. Why not celebrate one another?
Heck yeah.
I love the fact, Hunter, that his nickname is Puppy because he looks more like a bulldog to me. I don't see any puppy there.
The pink bat, baby, it lets you know. Just massage it, Puppy.
Puppy got that one down off the end of the bat. It's lifted into right field. Long run. Closing things down defensively and making the play out there in right field. Dick's Sporting Goods, Perfect Game All-American Classic. One of the great events every single year. First of all, the relationship with Rawlings as it goes. But then the bat reveal. You ordered ahead. You had an opportunity to have a bat as a PG All-American design just for you. Mark Kramer, one of the great leaders with Rawlings. And then you go grab the bat hunter that you ordered. And that beauty is in your hands.
I mean, that is, we want to talk about a memory. Not only are you getting all the great gear, you're playing with the best kids across the nation, but get your own custom bat to take home and play with. That is something special.
Jack Bauer would love to break one of those, even though they're pretty and beautiful. That's what left-handed pitchers love to do. Righties, too. He's from Frankfort, Illinois, Lincoln Way East High School, top tier, his travel team, and he is a Virginia commit. This school year, a couple of goals he has. A, I want to win a state championship. B, get stronger in the weight room. As far as off the field, just grow as a person and work a lot harder in school. Make my senior year my best year for the son of Kim and Steve Bauer. This is left-hander, Jack Bauer.
Gotta love he's got a sense of humor wearing number 24. Jack Bauer.
It's a great show.
It was a great show.
So Anthony Pack has his hands full for a left-on-left matchup.
I feel like every situation was like, if you don't call this strike, we're all going down.
Pack off the end of the bat, Bauer off the mound. There's that speed of the Lakewood, California native. Flying up the line. Keisha and Anthony, his parents. And this is one heck of an athlete.
Yeah, let's watch this speed. Put the ball in play. That curveball was nasty, but that's what speed do. The Pack is back, baby.
I like that he put some spin on the ball. You look what it changed directions with the English on that.
That's some English, baby. But, man, he can fly, and that was quite a treat to watch him cook down the line.
Danny Wexelman, what do you have?
Yeah, well, when it comes to the speed, I said, what's the key? He said, just keep running, guys. Don't get lazy. When he played football, he said that was a huge help to him, but it's just keep running. And I said, it can't be that simple. And he said, for me, it is. He does have a speed coach, though, that he's been working with to get better at that. And by the way, guys, when he's done with his long, successful career, he wants to be a broadcaster.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well, we'll keep the seat warm for him.
Yeah, Hunter. That was a late call of time. Hunter, will you welcome him up here?
Absolutely. Come and see us, Pack.
Out there at first, I got a chance to go to Braylon Payne, PG All-American, and a man who was drafted in the first round. Quickly, though, a little bit more on Josiah Hartshorn. Southern California guy, co-champion, along with Jacob Parker. What I learned from the PG All-American out of Texas, Braylon Payne, who the Brewers picked overall 17th this year in the MLB draft. I learned speed training's hard. I didn't do it. I just watched it, and it's difficult.
Well, I think the profile you guys showed yesterday at the event of that young man is absolutely phenomenal. And the work and effort that he put in, like, I thought I worked hard when I was a young kid trying to make it. Like, what he was doing is unbelievable. And it turned into a 6.2 60 for him when he ran the 60. He thanked his coaches, and the coach was like, you know what? That's all on you. You did the work. I just told you what to do, but you did the work.
So I love Danny's hit, and I think he told her exactly what he felt, but I think he absolutely downplayed. Now I'm skipping back from Payne to Pack. I think there's a little more than just running. I'm going to guess he busts his tail as he shows that speed, taking a big turn, really aggressive.
That is some game-changing speed and also instincts to boot right there, keeping his head up, turning it hard. And you love to see that a student of base running as well as a student of speed. Now, I find it also funny with Hartshorn, the picture of him is batting right-handed that we just posted, and he's up here lefty on lefty. Just goes to show he's only been hitting lefty for 2 months.
I mean, how crazy is that? Give us some perspective on that, Hunter, how crazy that is.
It's absolutely crazy. And to look at how comfortable, how solid he is in the box, watching this at bat. He won the home run derby tonight, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes, you know, what was it? Wheeler, he was a right-handed pitcher, broke his arm and started throwing lefty and then became a Hall of Famer. It's like sometimes an injury leads you right where you need to be.
Josiah earns the walk. Chris and Megan, by the way, the parents of Hartshorn. Tristan and Taylor, twin sisters. His younger brother is Luke. They've all been really proud of what he's accomplished this weekend. We'll get to see Quentin hit again with a couple of runners on.
And he saw a couple nasty pitches that first at bat. I'm anxious to see him against a lefty right here.
Got underneath that pitch that time. A slider. Almost ended up throwing it uphill.
It was like barely foul. It was like the first batter that we tried this with. It would have been perfect.
Again, shot that one uphill. 2-0 the count.
Can you imagine having Dimitri and Delman Young uncles to talk about hitting, and you can tell he's polished and knows what he's doing.
That would tie him up behind the plate, pops away. The runners can advance. Tough pitch to deal with there for Omar Cerna. Cerna, his second inning of catching, also was behind the plate in the first inning. Bauer handcuffed him that time.
A 2-1 pitch right here. He's going to sit on a fastball and see what he can drive.
A little bit of arm side disappear over there.
Yeah, little sink, outside sink, lefty on lefty.
Slightly closed up with that stance. 2-2 the count. Weston navy blue leading at 3-2 the count. One of the great heroes too in Quinton's life. There's Braylon Payne. Look at him playing for the Brewers, and camp across town has come back to the Classic. We were just talking about him. 17th pick overall in the draft, Brewers. On the right in street clothes. That's strike 3 to Quentin Young.
And an excellent pitch right there. He had the sinker painted away, throws an up and in heater, sets it up nicely right there, freezes Quentin Young. And that's a big situation right there. Needed a strikeout, runners on second and third.
Oh, that's a nasty breaking ball.
Now, can you imagine how much must these players love this event to come and show up while they're working with an organization and share the knowledge that they've gained and their experience? And that's what baseball's about.
Infield comes in about halfway. Paying it forward's a great way to look at it. Coming to being around these athletes. And you're right. You work hard. When you've signed, you work hard. You're up early in the morning. It's hot, so everything's early in the morning. And he had actually texted me a couple of days ago, give me the details, I want to come. Didn't know if he was coming. Hopped in a car and came on his own.
Well, there's something about playing the game that when you meet other people who played, you do have that sense that it's family. Like you can relate in a way and speak a language that is different. And you've experienced things that the other person certainly can understand. 1-1
the count to Trent Grinlinger. the interesting thing, just to put a bow on Braylon Payne being here, is all of these athletes in both dugouts, they might not have known him, some did, but they watched that documentary for the first time. No one else had seen it, so he's probably kind of a movie star in a way to them after watching what they watched, Steve, last night.
Yeah, I think you're a movie star in it too. I think that with your role and all of that.
I just happened, and we were very thankful with Braylon's mom thanking us. We shared it with them for the first time this morning as well. And I said, thank you. It's all you. We just happened to be there with the camera. That's all.
Yeah, very impressive mom there too, right? Single mom that really provided opportunities for son. And for all these kids, their parents are such an important part in why they're here today.
Oh, a breaking ball and a good one. You love nothing more than a strikeout with a runner at third base and freezing that runner at third. JB, Jack Bauer, getting out of the jam so far.
That's what Jack Bauer does. He gets the country out of jams, gets the East Coast out of jams. Second and third, nobody out. We'll see if he can finish it.
Because things had gone nuclear here.
Absolutely.
I love that you guys watched 24 because I didn't.
Oh,
that was high and inside.
It is so good. You should go and watch it. At the end of every episode, you're pulling your hair out, and they just get the tick, tick.
That I didn't know about. That I didn't know about. West Squad leads it 3-1 in their good-looking navy blue uniforms. A third chance to watch Billy Carlson hit against, according to Hunter, the heroic Jack Bauer. The Bauers, by the way, go all out at Christmas time. Very family-oriented, a lot of things together. They clear the calendar for multiple days. The Bauers are a Christmas time family. That breaking ball never got there. And an unkind bounce back from the screen, too. It was funny when Cerna turned around. I thought if it gets right to him, he's got to play, but then it took a turn. Another run, 4-1.
You know, I think one of the things that, that it's more difficult for the young players to understand is that with scouts here, they think I've got to be perfect in my performance sometimes. But when they're not, that oftentimes shows scouts far more about a player when he mows through a lineup and gets three hitters out right away. I want to see what you do when you're in a jam. I want to know what situation, what pitch you're throwing, what's your go-to pitch to get out of a jam. He ends up throwing another wild pitch right there, costing a run. And as pitchers and catchers work more together, they'll know how to block that, get in front of it, anticipate that potential breaking ball in the dirt. But I think that the idea of seeing players struggle a little bit and then how do you get out of it, how do you handle that situation, tells them volumes, because you will face that, Hunter, at some point in professional baseball or in college baseball.
Absolutely. How do you respond to adversity? And two runs thrown in right there, and those are big, but how's your body language? How do you get the next guy?
Well, guys, I couldn't agree more. When you watch a situation like this, it's nothing at all. It's not dire in any way. This is an all-star game, and I've loved watching. Miguel Sime, who pitched earlier, was a great example. He had a scuffling inning at the National Showcase in New Yorker, and his second inning was one of the most beautiful comebacks I've ever seen. That was the story he wrote on his way out of the building.
Right.
Not that first inning, but how do you recover?
Absolutely.
And I think you may learn more from recovering from that than just a clean inning. Kason Cunningham's had a very hitterish approach all day long. So his high school coach, he gives a lot of credit to Kason, and he said he's taught me one important thing, Gordon Gassell of the Johnson High School, that pressure is a privilege. And he said, I've been privileged to be under a lot of pressure, but it doesn't buckle me at all. I kind of like that simple quote. Pressure is a privilege.
Yeah, it's a mindset. It's a perspective. You can choose to be like, oh, this is a lot of pressure and tighten up, or you can be like, oh, you can raise up to the pressure and be like, I've earned the opportunity to play in such a great pressured matchup.
That one was outside. By the way, they sent Hartshorn back to third because that was actually a hit batter of Carlson a moment ago. And now the walk to Cunningham. Clint Hurdle's going to come out. Not sure if someone's tossing. Maybe just a chance to give his left-hander a break. Yes, that's the Clint Hurdle, longtime manager. Took the Rockies to a pennant back in '07, and just generally the first-round pick of the Royals back in the '70s. A great man, a great baseball man, and a great leader as he comes out. I think just to chat a little bit, calm him down. While that happens, we'll let Danny chat with us a little bit. Danny?
Yeah, well, earlier today I went to the outfield. I wanted to see Kason Cunningham and chat with him. I mean, he's had such an incredible year. You've detailed that, the gold medal, the MVP. He's been outstanding. And I said, are you surprised by yourself this year at all? And he said, no. He said, some people might be surprised by what I've done, but I'm not surprised at all. I've gotten stronger, I'm more powerful. And I said, what's led to that? He said, my legs. I put a lot of effort and workout into my legs, working my core and adding a lot of protein, D.
Yeah, good stuff. Talking about Kason Cunningham, who just earned that walk. He's at first base. Another chance for the #1 player in the class, Ethan Holiday. Holiday, a pair of strikeouts. He's got Grinlinger. He's got Carlson. He's got Cunningham all out there on the pond. And a breaking ball dives low and away.
Love watching these left-on-left matchups. You know, when Jackson got sent down to AAA, one of the things they wanted him to do is work on his matchup against left-handed pitching and see how Ethan does with it.
Jackson came back to the big leagues, locked in.
Yeah.
Homer after homer after homer. My wife and I like to watch at the end of night quick pitch on MLB Network. I said, wait a minute, is this yesterday's show? And I said at the third day, is this yesterday's show? Because Jackson Holiday is homering every day now since he's come back.
Homer's on repeat, and you know that's one of the things. And his brother right here, Ethan, works a nice walk, but homers come in bunches, and Griffey would say that once you just got to allow that one to happen, and then follow that flow. But that's once again our point as Hartshorn scores here on the walk. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and you got to respond to failure and respond to adversity. And Jackson Holiday, his season obviously shows that as well.
Xavier Nyans looks at a strike at 90 miles an hour over the outside corner. Nyans walked, hit by a pitch. He'd love to swing the bat if it makes sense, if it's there for him. His younger sis is Harper. She's 15 years old. They're thick as thieves, a great relationship at home. He's won a league championship, has Nyans, as a basketball player. He's won 2 as a baseball player.
He's got that winning championship DNA, is what you're telling me, Darren.
Yeah. Good teammates, good athlete himself, good guy to build teams around. Sophomore year, hamate surgery. Lots of physical therapy, and he said it was a true setback, but I got everything else better and stronger during that time. Breaking ball came with that one. That's strike 3. So the southpaw works out of a jam. Kind of got his back against the wall. It's been fun to watch Jack Bauer work. Number 24 in that jersey, the pride of Frankfort, Illinois. Tick, tick, tick. That's what they say, right?
Yes, indeed.
The players want to maximize their potential.
They are chasing the wrong thing.
Being better is personal.
What works for one player doesn't work for all players.
Players need to be told what they're good at, what they're not good at, and what they need to work on.
They need to be given a personalized plan to help them get to where they want to be.
That's how players get better.
That's how they maximize their potential.
That's how they become great.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us as we build the future of intelligent players.
Perfect Game All-American Classic is brought to you by Yeti, built for the wild. By Mine Bats, the official wood bat of Perfect Game. By Turtlebox, the loudest, portable, waterproof speaker on the market. And by Diamond Cast Plus. Get more hits with Diamond Cast Plus. Aha, Ethan Bingaman. The shoulders are loose. The hero shot in the media room. Here's Ethan. He's from Redlands, California. Guess where he goes to high school? Recently transferred to Corona High School. We all know it by now. Andy Wise, what is in the water there? Everybody wants to come drink from the school drinking fountain. His name is Ethan Bingaman, and he is a statistical whiz as far as what he puts up in the advanced numbers. Redlands, California, an Auburn commit. Kane's national team is his team. He's a talented player. Was committed to Cal Baptist and wanted to make this clear. I made the switch. It was the right one for me. I loved my time with Cal Baptist. They helped me make the switch, and I'm very grateful for my experience. So he thinks a lot of a team not too far from him in Cal Baptist. And he faces a power man in Mr. Parker. I love in the world where we kind of perceive how things go as outsiders, and the portal and changes, and we can always paint it negative every time, folks. Not every story's negative. Not at all.
And, you know, you just find the right position, right spot for you, and find the fit.
And say goodbye with class if you were somewhere and thank them, you know, the first place.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly who Bingham is, and he's on his way to Auburn. Good job, Mandy and Dustin, his parents. All right. It's another opportunity to see a Parker swing it, then another Parker. And a good-looking fastball. How about you? 94, strike one. There's those metrics right away, Steve. 2,500 on the fastball.
Boy, the spin rate. That's a good spin rate right there at a fastball. It fights gravity is what it does. You know, the high spin rate, the reason that's such an important factor right now is what it does. It fights gravity, and it gives the illusion of a rising fastball when the reality is it doesn't sink as quickly as a fastball with a lesser spin rate.
That one rolled to the right side. At the National Showcase, his fastball averaged 93.9. The average fastball spin rate was 27.18. Averaged.
That's impressive. That gets you a lot of swings and misses with your fastball, and you think to yourself, well, he's throwing 93, 94. Why does he get more swings and misses with his fastball than the guy's throwing 98?
Speaking of spin, hammer. Like he dropped that one down a chimney. My goodness.
I mean, this is an absolute yo-yo right here. 12-6 and sharp and tight. And, you know, you talk about the spin rate of the fastball, but look how low he kind of releases, and he really gets that one clean. But this is a guy that, like, really gets down in his legs and is launching and releasing it from a low angle with the spin rate. And for me, it's not always velocity, it's that deception, and he creates so much deception with his release point. And what an amazing athlete to watch him just catapult this ball home.
He does catapult it, right? The ball's sort of hidden behind his body, and the next thing you know, it's kind of coming at you.
Just watch his back leg as he's releasing these pitches. Like, he gets down on that back leg. He does not skip leg day at all and just springboards to home plate. And he's also commanding these pitches with this high spin rate. A lot of upside right here. I like what I'm seeing from Benjamin.
Darren, how you doing with leg days?
I skip them all the time. I try now at 54 years old to get a couple in a week, though.
Apologize, it's Bingham. Bingham.
Here you go, Hunter.
Here we go. Watch that back leg. Watch him get down, and look at how low he's releasing from, and just full whippy, nice, and got that. What is it? The Tom Brady. What is it with the muscles when they're
twitchy?
Pliable. He's got the pliability.
Well, you're a wordsmith. Every Tuesday on our recording day and every All-American game, I'm reminded.
Well, I was the least pliable, and I can just remember my strength trainer always giving me the TB12 book and being like, we got to get you down here and stretch you out and get your pliability like Tom Brady.
Mr. Gibbs makes his stride to the plate. But we've seen him play a really good shortstop as an opportunity for what will probably be his last at bat. Danny, what do you have on Josh?
Yeah, well, his dad got him into the game, guys. 8 years old. There's a cage in his backyard, and he told me his dad had never played, so they essentially learned the game together. Dad staying up late, reading, watching, doing as much as he could to make sure that Josh would be ready to play the game. It was really cool to just sit down and hear how much work Dad had put in to make sure that Josh would be ready. And by the way, not too shabby for Dad, a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo, got a bronze medal in the 1999 World Championship.
That's awesome, Dad, as Tim, as that one skips in there and sends the runner out to second base. By the way, let's take a look at our Rawlings Gold Glove defensive play of the game. It's got to be this guy. I mean, for what he was able to do. Hunter, this was incredible.
I mean, yeah, look at him pick that short hop clean, step on second, and we mentioned just watching him bat Andrelton Simmons, and then he goes and picks it like that.
Yeah.
One of the best shortstops I've played against, and man, that was clean from Gibbs.
Big swing, and he fouls it back. So this is in Hunter's wheelhouse. that black belt that he talked about with Dad, he said, Dad's taught me the kinetic chain from the ground up, creating power, the transfer of energy. That's what else Dad has taught me.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of our show in Back Kitchen, he was talking about the transfer of energy from the ground up. He learned golfing and has turned it into how he teaches his hitters. And woo, transfer some energy right there.
And Gibbs drives that one to right field, over the shoulder. Oh my goodness. What an effort all the way around. What an effort out there. What a beautiful swing. 97 off the bat. Unbelievable. Dean Moss holds it in.
That is a great play. This is a hard ball going over your head, kind of directly over your head. You've got to create your own angle in right field, right directly over your head. This is Hunter Pence action right here out in right field. That is a tremendous play, knowing where you are in the field, approaching the warning track, approaching the wall, keeping your eye on the ball, making the play, and then the wherewithal to get up and rifle it back in the infield.
And that's Dean Moss. He said his defense is what, if you underrate me, I'm extraordinary.
I'm still extraordinary.
That was extraordinary. Dean Moss, by the way, Giants fan. Let's go.
I'm trying to get like a double.
Look at him out there. He's like, I'm going to make that same play in the Bay by the Cove someday. I'm going to go up against that tall wall, no problem. Hunter's already dreaming of him wearing black and orange.
With regards to Josh Gibbs right there, you got to imagine, a couple more years, a little more time in the weight room. That's a home run. He connected with that ball. That was a good swing.
How about JoJo Parker, the base running, scoring from second base on that play too, right? Heads up play on his part.
Yep. Gets back, tags up. Comes around, 5-2, a big second run.
Yeah, that's something you don't see too often. He gets a sacrifice fly with a runner at second.
Right. I mean, you talk about those kinetic links, and that really is it's the foundation of everything that happens in baseball. Everybody thinks, well, your arm is the most important thing. Everything stems from the feet up, right? How everything works to get your arm in position to throw the baseball as a pitcher, and how everything works as a hitter to get yourself started and with that front foot hitting the ground with your hands in a launch position. But all of those links start from the front toe going down, the back toe coming up, the hip rotating through, and the hips leading the hands through the zone. Everything starts from the ground up.
Having to work a little bit behind the plate as Bingaman skips that one in there. And Bud Coombs trots to first. We talked about that commitment to play football and baseball at Maryland for Bud. His dad is Buster, his mom is Sadie. The interesting thing about Coombs right now, it's up at 6:30 every day. And there's a break in the middle of the day, but it's at football all day long. Before he goes to bed at night, as long as the energy's there and he's gotten a good meal in, he goes out to the cages in the backyard and make sure he gets some swings in. But it's football season now. It's a tough challenge.
Now look at his legs. He's got the legs like a fullback. I mean, power strides with this young man.
He's talking to himself too while he hits. I like it.
Yeah, Mason Braun. There are those legs that Steve's talking about on the move into second, but it's fouled off.
He's fast, twitchy, and got some quick hands, man.
Running back, by the way.
Yeah, he reminds me of Blake Corum from Michigan from last year. Sort of that same stocky size with the strong legs.
Loves his linemen. Knows to thank them. He takes the lead at first. Late reaction on a high breaking ball. Quentin Young across the diamond. Zips it on across. Quentin Young. 2 ridiculous plays this inning.
Wow.
And more than anything, the throw.
There's range, right? Range to his left. And then the athleticism to get your shoulders turned, again, to throw the ball to first place. Look at this athleticism right there. That kid's 6'5".
Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. How about that desert glove at the Classic? Holden Herring, Mineral Wells, Texas, about to get his call. The Texas Tech commit. Plays for Texas 12. Really good travel team. Talked about Braylon Payne earlier, the first-round pick. He played for Texas 12. So the right-hander gets the call. Hart and Charlene, his parents. And a young man that talks about growing this year, consistent velocity, being able to hold his velocity while going deep into games. Speaking of guys that do that, there's a couple of pinch hitters, two-way players. We're going to unveil two-way players back-to-back as pinch hitters. We've already seen Seth Hernandez pitch. Now we're going to see Seth Hernandez, who hit a grand slam at the 17U WWBA this summer. He gets to hit. And by the way, Cruz Schoolcraft on deck.
The Corona High School started off on the mound for the West.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can throw 100 and his 100-mile-per-hour exit velocity as well. Swinging the bat.
He's got some torque.
That breaking ball to the right side. It's travel ball BPA. They won that event, the 17U WWBA. We're talking about Hernandez now. I'm going to give you a quote about him as a pitcher. A really respected scout said Seth Hernandez is the best prospect to come out of Southern California since Hunter Green. Those are the words. And by the way, Hunter could hit too.
Yeah, it started out as a two-way player that made the transition to pitching, and his biggest challenge right now, he keeps throwing up on the mound when he's out there pitching right now. The heat keeps getting to him.
But he keeps dealing, and man, what a talent he is. But he pitched, what, one game his high school career, and that was enough to let him know what he could do.
It's amazing.
He did a little pitching here, one game high school career, little pitching, pitched in the Classic, through 98 in the Classic. By the way, won the home run challenge and through 98 when he was a perfect game All-American.
Is that good?
It's good. He may be throwing up a Cy Young on his show, too. So Hernandez, those are words of high praise. Grounded to the middle of the diamond. He hurries up the line. Defense is the order of the day right now. I mean, it really, really is. A nice play. That's JoJo Parker out there at short. Cruz Schoolcraft. We saw him already do his work on the mound. He's a Select Festival athlete. Look at the youngster. Perfect Game Select Festival. Beaverton, Oregon. This is what he's done as a hitter this year. 364 in 15 games. When he goes on a college visit, it'll be his first. Yet to go on a college visit.
I'm sure everyone's going to want to have this kid. So
think there's some invites out there?
He's going to have an invite.
I got to reach out to Michigan, see if I've had any contact with him.
Yeah, Tracy Smith, tell him, come on, Smitty, let's go.
Good take right there at the changeup. Swinging at the fastball, comes right back with the changeup. Good changeup by Herring on the mound. A field for pitching.
Good changeup back-to-back. Danny Wexelman, what are we talking about?
Yeah, well, when it comes to recruiting, he reclassed, guys, and so he didn't have the opportunity when the window was open. When we were here at National, his little brother, Jet, I tried to get Jet to ask him, hey, who are you looking at, where you want to go? And he couldn't get it out of him, but I will tell you that Jet is a superstar in the making. I know Cruz has obviously made a name for himself, but watch out for Jet, the younger Schoolcraft.
Jet Schoolcraft, if ever there was a name that you could market. Yeah, he was wise. You know what? Very wise in paying attention. That changeup is beautiful.
That changeup is unhittable right here. This is amazing. It's sitting on a fastball. Oh, falls right off the table.
It's the X factor right there. And you come to one of these events and see a nasty changeup, and that's a smooth swing right there. I mean, Cruz and Jet Schoolcraft, there's some Top Gun pilots in the making. These guys have some names.
I mean, their parents understood the name game. You're setting your kid up for success and being a big leaguer. If your name's Jet, you're going to be a big league player. Cruz, big leaguer.
But Herring just, absolutely going to work and just painting up the corners, mixing and matching, and really putting on a clinic here, a pitching clinic.
Want to introduce you to Lucas Franco, his first at bat of the game, the PG All-American from Cinco Ranch High School in Katy, Texas. Texas 12, his travel team. And a TCU Kirk Sarlos commit, the son of Matt and Carolyn, all state in the state of Texas as a junior. This is Lucas Franco. Couple of Texans dueling here. They might be on different teams. Geography, that's okay. We're a little flexible at the Classic. sitting next to a Texan. No, he's a Northern Californian now in Hunter Pence. You claim both very proudly, right? Texas and NoCal?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Takes down and in, good patient at bat. It's interesting, Herring was talking about spurting, growing. All young athletes go through it. He said, learning how to use my body correctly has been my greatest challenge. The pitcher went on to say, I've been able to overcome that by listening to the right people and also trusting that the work will pay off. Becoming flexible, he said, helped too. That's Herring on the mound. Brock Sell, another athlete to introduce you to. Brock is from Stockton, California. There's so much positive here for the son of Chip and Sharon. First off, he's a Stanford commit. That means he's exceptional in the classroom. He was really good at that WWBA, the championship this year. He was 10 for 25 with a homer. And he's a heck of a basketball player too, Brock Sell. Getting to see 4 different new hitters this inning. This is fun.
I think for Sell yesterday, we talked about he has like a 4.4 GPA. He's never gotten anything but an A in school. Impressive young man.
It's a studious class.
Tokay High School. He's from Stockton, California. Alpha Prime, his travel team. He took on an event, the World Wood Bat Association World Championship in Jupiter, Florida last fall. He played up a year. He had a 450 on base in that event against all seniors when he was a junior.
Well, it's impressive that, you know, right out the gates, just on everything, and he's got a really good gather.
Well, it's hard because you come to an event like this, you want to swing the bat, right? I don't want to walk. I want to swing the bat. Yeah, and yet I'm impressed by the guys who are willing to take a walk because it's the quality of the at-bat that they're showing the scouts.
Take what they give you.
Hunter, I'm going to tell you what he said he grew the most this year. And he said, and I quote, my ability to drive the ball instead of being a slap singles guy. I've gotten stronger. So I've learned how to drive the ball confidently through the gaps, not just flip it over the shortstop's head.
Look at this 2-strike approach, though. He's choked up about 2 inches on the bat right there. He's going to fight.
Bikes that breaking ball, hits it hard. Nice play in foul territory. That's a good effort. He took a step into foul territory, turning back and stepping on the bag. Mason Braun. That was close.
Yeah, it's tough to tell right there. Braun thought it was fair, and I want to see another pitch. 3-2. And watching Brock Sell's pitch by pitch, every one of these, and could have been called either way. It wasn't. Did it go over the bag? And foul ball is the call.
Love that, though. You called it, right? Choked up, 2-strike approach. We don't see that in Major League Baseball much at all, right? The idea that the swing on an 0-0 count is the same as the 0-2 count, 2-2 count. They're still going to unload and sell out for trying to hit it out. You see here now, choking up, trying to put the ball in play.
I love this right here. Pesky pitchers hate it.
It's a hard ground ball out to short. Only play is out front. It zipped on across and turned into an out. JoJo Parker out there from Purvis, Mississippi. A day in which the Parker brothers are shining. So is everybody else at the All-American Classic.
Wow. Oh, it feels brand new. That's crazy. I feel no pain, nothing. That's so crazy. Zero pain, zero. Yo, that's crazy, dude.
Like, I can't feel my traps anymore because they've been going and they're super loose now. But my legs, it almost feels like somebody's just like, pump, pump, pump. It feels like you're getting a massage, free massage.
2 micros, no better way to go.
The weather is warm and it's the perfect time of year to cook outside. Loco Smart Temp griddles provide precise and controllable griddle surface temperatures ranging from 250 degrees all the way up to a sear setting. The cooking temperature always stays exactly where you set it, so your meal always comes out just right. Cultivating great experiences is part of our DNA, and everyone has a seat at our table, so pull up a chair. Cook faster and party longer with Loco Cookers.
Perfect Game All-American Classic at Chase Field. Our launch hydrate, the game summaries. We welcome you back. First inning. Things got a little bit loose on both sides. You have Billy Carlson grabbing 3 bases, getting to flex his speed Once he arrived out there at third base, that one skipped on by to the corner. You had Kason Cunningham driving him in with a beautiful approach, certainly. When Cunningham, who was a RBI man down in Panama, an RBI man once again. Jackie Robinson Player of the Year award, Coy James with a couple of extra bases. Peter Mershon would make sure that he would send him home. And after that action got going, the pitchers started to settle in. There's number 4, Peter. Beautiful approach to the right side. Good fastball elevated. Inside corner, Quentin Young. Not too thrilled about that. River, Hamilton. Got Cerna Jr. on a strikeout. And then a good breaking ball swung right over the top of it. You're up to date. This is fun because this is local. Jack LaFlamme is from Scottsdale, Arizona, and he goes to Brophy Prep. Jack gets the call. He was thrilled when he found out Chip Hale is the head coach at Arizona. He's earned his commitment and a chance to go to work, and this is exciting for him to be at home. Now, on the other side, we're going to introduce new players as well. Jaden Foskey is from Willowbrook, Illinois. Jaden gets the call for the East squad. Number 1 shortstop in Illinois, left-handed bat. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. We'll be introducing you again to new ball players probably every inning, these PG All-American. Uncommitted athlete. Nice and easy, 93 over the outside corner.
I met Jaden's mom in the gym today at the hotel, and the Little League World Series was on, and I said, I missed that age. She goes, I missed that age too, just, because they're growing up now, and I think the parents all recognize, they're a year away from going to pro ball or going to college, and they're going to be out of the house, and that, you're watching the Little League World Series with all those young kids, and they remember when they played there.
Yeah, talking about Jaden's mom, his parents, Chris and Judy. Plays for the East Cobb Astros. That is an incredible day when you get to see your young athlete get out there, play for the first time, and then you blink and they're 17, and it's unique how it happens. By the way, Jaden, as he heads to first, does so as a busy athlete: basketball, football, tennis, golf, along with baseball as a young man.
It's rare these days to see the young athletes playing all the sports. We got a couple guys playing football and baseball, but golf, tennis, mixing it in there. There's a lot to gain from each sport.
Younger brother of a Perfect Game alum by the name of Stroman. This is Marcus's younger brother, Jaden Stroman, riding his own journey. A couple of times he's been a Select Festival athlete at Perfect Game Select Festivals. 3 times he's a New Yorker. He joined CMA as a New Yorker. And by the way, a 4.0 in the classroom this year. Back on July 2nd, exit velocity in this event here at Chase National Showcase, 99 miles an hour. Like his younger brother, when Marcus came through the ranks, he's a shortstop. Younger bro is a shortstop, now a longtime big league pitcher. This man, like brother, committed to Duke. We've been watching him grow up for a long, long time. It's been our pleasure. Good late life, 2,500 spin rate on the fastball.
I watched James Stroman, he threw 99 from the outfield and 97 from the infield as well. So the arm strength, like Big Brother, also there for the younger Stroman.
Has had a heck of a consistent career. He's been great for a long time.
He's pitching tonight in Williamsport.
I got to play one game with Marcus. And getting to talk with him, he's a book reader, he's a studier of the mental side of the game. And for me, and Darren knows this from our show, that I'm a big advocate for doing the mental work as well as the physical coming out here. So I'm sure Jaden has learned a lot from Marcus as well. And we've read a lot of the same books, so it was fun getting to pick his brain.
Framed up over the outside corner, that's strike 3. We saw a great block a moment ago by Braden Jacksa. This time he presents this pitch beautifully, the catcher.
Yeah, look at that receiving right there, nice and smooth, and maybe gets a little bit of, gets his pitcher an inch right there, but that was a perfect pitch. You can't not much you can do with that. Tip your cap, Jaden.
If I call Owen Jenkins a riser in the rankings, I'm understating it with who he has become this year. More than 400 points in the rankings this summer as the hitter out of Kentucky takes a breaking ball outside. He's now the number 5 catcher in the land. He's a Louisville commit out of Lexington Catholic. Midland Redskins, his travel team. Locally, they know him. Now nationally, everyone knows him. He's been playing varsity baseball since he was in 8th grade. 8th grade on the varsity baseball team, as that one's popped to the right side. While we have a moment, Danny, what do you have?
Yeah, well, behind the plate to stay in shape, guys, it's yoga for mobility and hot Pilates. He does yoga with his mom and dad. He said, Mom is good. Dad just comes to hang out with me, which I can appreciate. Dad might not be the best, but Dad wants to spend time with him, so he goes there. And listen, too, for his stance at the plate, you're watching him right now. He said no stride. He wants to let the ball get deeper. He's compact and simple.
I mean, it's a tough thing to pull off, the no stride, but less movement can help you. And you see him still doing a little bit of a weight shift. The foot's not moving that much. I'd like to see him maybe a little bit wider than that if he's not going to stride. But he's been rising in the ranks. It's working for him.
He's one of my favorites this year. The story of who he is, what he's accomplished. Bouncing ball. You guys all remember Kent Merker of that great group of Braves in the 90s. He was kind of a do-everything as we see this one fouled off. That no-stride swing. Merker has been guiding Jenkins and giving him some tips along the way in the same part of the world. He called after Owen came on my SiriusXM radio show and just said, this young man has reshaped his physique as well. I mean, he's gotten leaner, gotten stronger. You look at his jaw, it looks like it's chiseled out of stone. Did he just get a piece? He did. And I think what's interesting, Hunter, listening to the whole Pilates part and the stretching part and the hot yoga, is he may be chiseled out of stone, but he's chiseled out of stone, but flexible.
Yeah, the mobility is kind of the new wave of thinking. Is you got extra mobility adds to the power and allows you to get more extension. The side angle shows him a lot wider than this front angle. So kind of the Paul Goldschmidt getting the foot down early, winning an MVP, and revamping his swing. And so there's a lot of guys that are on that. So let's take another look at this side swing right there. So you can see that's nice and balanced, and you can see the weight transfer back to front right there. So he still has a rhythm, but just reducing the movement. And he's giving you a good at bat right here. You can see some tough pitches he's fighting off.
LaFlamme, the Arizonan, dealing with the Kentucky-based catcher, and he swings and misses at a pitch high in the zone. Again, that high spin, nearly 2,500 on the spin rate. And that's a couple of strikeouts back-to-back of really talented hitters.
Right, that ball up in the zone right there, it's nearly impossible to hit. That uppercut swing, you're going to swing underneath that high fastball. Got him to chase a little bit with it. It looks so good, right? It's up in your eyes. You think, oh, it looks so good to be able to get to it, but you just can't get the bat head up to that level to elevate to make contact with the pitch.
And really impressive by Jack Laflamme. It's kind of like a taller, skinnier, lankier Roy Oswalt, because he kind of gets on that back leg as well and creates a lot of carry on the fastball. You see him get low, and you can see some projectability as well. He's going to thicken out, but really good body control for such a tall, big, lanky fella.
Yeah, for part of him right now, that deception, he's got arms and legs coming at you, right? Just a lot of arms and legs, glove flying at you, and then the ball sneaks up on you a little bit as well.
Mario Magana Jr. gets the call from Miami. He's a Miami commit, Christopher Columbus High School. Won a state championship there his freshman year. Wants to win another one his senior year. That breaking ball's no fun. This is the #1 shortstop, Mario, in the state of Florida, and he is a true switch hitter. Plays for that FDB team. Nelly's his head coach. Love everything Nelly does. Great travel ball coach, content creator too. Mario Magana Jr. To the right side, diving attempt. That changeup floated out over the plate.
Yes, sir, Mario.
Give Mario credit. The throw to the plate, the slide, out at the plate. Came up throwing from right field and threw a strike. Dylan Hernandez threw this one.
Let's take a look at this, and Mario absolutely rips that one. And Seth Hernandez throws 100 from the mound. Why would you run on him? He's playing shallow, throws another strike from right field and the mound. Seth Hernandez.
Don't call me Dylan.
back to the All-American Classic 5-2 West top 7. And the West team and their defense, we just saw Seth Hernandez's play, but how about Dean Moss? I'm with him now. Walk us through your mindset when you're going back to make that catch.
So I started off playing straight up because Bingaman throws hard, so I was expecting a ball backside. And then I saw the ball get hit, and I knew I had to go back right away. And then it started fading on me, so I noticed I didn't have enough time to hit a shoulder turn, so I just kind of reached up, and it was over my back a little bit, so caught it like that.
What's the emotion when you know you got the ball in the glove?
Oh, I was really excited. I think it's just about hanging on to the ball when you hit the ground. So, yeah, I was really excited.
Did you see Seth Hernandez fire that bullet home?
Yeah, that was an absolute laser. I expect nothing less from his arm.
Dean, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Dean and Seth doing magical things in right field. There's like this pressure hunter to play right field. You know what that's like.
Yeah, I mean, excellent right field defense. I tip my cap. These are two ridiculous plays. And
Eli Willits with the base hit in the left field. We've seen Eli also out there work defensively, but a great chance to meet the young man out of Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. A reclass from Fort Cobb Broxton High School. An OU commit. Eli still 16 years old. He's facing Miles Upchurch. He's a Maryland man. He's an Alabama commit. David and Shakara are his parents.
Excellent approach by Willits, taking what he's given, not trying to do too much, knowing what he is as a hitter, and just punching it to left field.
I mean, a low line drive the other way, you have to be matched to plane of the pitch exactly. It takes a beautiful swing, and that's a great way to showcase what you can do.
Braden Jaska gets the call. Jaxa is a catcher, and he's a tall catcher. 6'6", working behind the plate. Braden, we got a chance to get to know him a little bit better last night. He won the Nick Adenhart Award. What an honor to win that award. The memory of Nick Adenhart, a perfect game All-American, who lost his life tragically just hours after a great outing in the big leagues to a drunk driver. So it's the spirit that Adenhart, perfect game, promising to never let Adenhart be forgotten in the amateur ranks. And so for Braden to win that award, it's a real honor for the way he goes about his business. Good changeup. That one dives down and away. Braden swings over the top of it, but a lot to be excited about the young man, the Oregon commit, Braden Jackson. And a good pitch.
And yeah, that's a slider down and away, and a beautiful pitch, and tough to lay off of with 2 strikes. You love to see that. That's pitching in a showcase like this, not just trying to overpower.
Tate Southasine, my apologies. Tate Southasine gets the call to hit out of Henderson, Nevada. His brother, Ty, the MVP last year in the game, has moved on to the professional ranks. Tate is a USC commit. Nice play on a backhand from behind home plate that time.
Big leg kick in sort of the Josh Donaldson approach here for Southasine, where the leg kick, the bat head sort of tips forward a little bit. He's not a big guy, but he's able to generate some pop with his approach. But a lot of moving parts to get everything set up as that pitch comes to the plate.
It's Ty, it's Trey, it's T, it's Tate, 4 brothers, all ball players. Wow factor, Southasine's travel team. And maybe a little bit smaller in stature, but the metrics are through the roof for what he's been able to accomplish. 99 from the outfield, 96 from the infield, exit velocity, ran a 6.5. He can trot to first this time. And another opportunity to intro another athlete. This is a really talented two-way player. This is Mason Pike. Pike with a mid-90s arm on the mound. Pike with a triple-digit exit velocity. Oregon State commit. Mason's been around for a long time. A 14U Select Festival athlete out of Puyallup, Washington. Meet Mason Pike.
No, it's interesting looking back at some of the numbers and the growth of players from when they first came in at 14 years old in perfect game of the events until now. I mean, guys add 15 miles per hour in their fastballs, their exit velocities, swinging the bat. They're adding 15, 20 miles per hour in exit velocities as well. And just the physical development. So they continue to develop their skills, but as they fill out and grow, you see the strength start to develop, and you can start to project what it might look like at the next level collegiately or professionally.
Upchurch, by the way, He's developed through the years as a really good athlete. He's been a 3-sport starter through his high school career and a varsity letterman: football, basketball, and baseball. All-conference quarterback on the football field. Bat flies, screen is there, thank goodness. 92, and a good and effective 92. Everybody's okay, though.
TrackMan, what did they get on the bat launch on that one? What are the numbers? You got to break that down right there.
He's got some velo, and this one's a 30-mile-an-hour helicopter. Look out! The net saves it. But to your point, Steve, in the information that's out there these days, if you want to improve, if you want to up your velo, you're going to be growing as a young man. But you can go and dial in an approach, you can polish, and that's why I think these players are having such success, as the information is out there. Go and do the work.
Got a nice jump. Both runners grab an extra bag. That's Willits and South the scene.
Getting that moving lead off of second base, right? If you're going to steal third base, typically you steal it off of the pitcher, right? The runner gets the moving lead. You see guys sort of start to get in motion, and the pitcher's job is make the base runner come to a stop.
Way inside, that's ball 4. Well, if you're a Mets fan, this is a familiar name. That name, obviously, of Dad is in the past now. This is the next Agbayani. He's Hawaiian. His name is Bruin. Iolani, Hawaii, plays for Bombat, an uncommitted athlete. Iolani High School, the #1 player in Hawaii. Of course, his dad is Benny Agbayani, and what he did in '99, 2000 for 5 years for the Mets, many Mets fans will never forget, and his mom is Niela. But this is Bruin's journey. And I know it's a name you're familiar with, Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, Benny was one of my outfielders back when I was Mets general manager, and just such a good kid. Came up in the organization and just got the most out of his ability. Just a fun-loving guy. Teammates loved him. Great teammate. Fans loved him as well.
He's devoted his adult life. Obviously, he's a hard-working man, works for Hawaiian Airlines, but all his free time he's devoted to his children. As a softball coach, both of Bruin's sisters play softball at BYU. Now, this is an athlete that will find a place to play or sign professionally. He's loved passing Diamond Sports on as a dad, which is cool. Does that surprise you?
Not even a little bit, no. And actually, Benny's wife, Nayla, you mentioned, she's a softball player back in the day, so not a surprise that his daughters are also softball players. So a lot of athleticism in the family.
Bruin's gotten stronger since we saw him in the fall. He took on that Jupiter event for older athletes, pulls that one toward the right side. Quick close defensively. Sean Gamble made it look easy, but in pulling it to the right side, that plate's a comfort run. RBI for Agbayani. They said that a lot in Shea Stadium back in the day. And it's 6-2.
And that's a team at bat right there. Get the job done. What a cool story, and I'm sure Dad's probably proud right there to see that, and a lot to look forward to for Bruin getting bigger. And what a cool name, Bruin Agbayani.
That's a great name. No, Bruin's a great name.
Hey, another brand new man, Brock Kettleson. Brock takes high from Scotts Valley, California. Dave Esker's got a couple of commits in this one. Here's another Stanford commit, son of Shannon and Jeff. He took the offer August 1st last year. They called, they offered, he accepted same day. I'm not shopping. I'm not going around to the rest of the college store. Stanford called my home. They offered, I'm in. And so that was his commitment, Brock Kettleson. And by the way, he's got a birthday coming up this Wednesday. He's still 16.
Wow. Is that right?
Kettleson skies that one. 70-degree launch angle, pops out of the glove and into the hand. Mario Magana, smile. This is going to be your day. I mean, you're not 21 yet, but maybe somebody ought to buy you a lottery ticket for this one today, because today is your day, my friend, at the Classic.
No sweat.
At first, it was just a team. Now I can't imagine my life without them.
That coach changed our son, on the field and off.
Danny Wexelman down below. Hunter Pence right next to me. Steve Phillips, I'm Darren Sutton. Here's our game recap. Brett Crossland, good Arizona guy, right? I mean, he's home. 3 strikeouts. Dean Moss, a 2-run double, and an incredible play. Jack Bauer, good. Josh Gibbs, that double play in the 3rd inning. Here's Brett Crossland with our Loco Cookers delivery of the game. You've got to have the Loco Cookers when you're out, going to the yard or in your backyard as well. Big Brett, the changeup. Good gracious, and then the running fastball. He was hoping to get selected. I talked with him throughout the year. We're both local to Phoenix. He took advantage of it, and so that's exciting. We're gonna introduce you to some new players this inning as well. That's Ty Peoples. We'll also introduce you to Nico Partita. But first, meet Reagan Ricken. Little Rick, as they call him. So Temecula, California is where he hails from. Another Great Oak High School guy, a couple of those. TJ Salinas, the head coach there. Eric Morton, by the way, the former head coach, leads the Athletics. Prime Red 17U his travel team, and he is an LSU commit.
What does Big Rick look like if Little Rick is 6'5", 220?
I mean, I don't know if I'm calling him Little Rick. I might call him Pretty Ricky.
Two-way player, too. He's a football and a baseball player. Here's Ty Peoples. He's from Livonia, Georgia. Number 3 on that PG All-American jersey, and he is a Georgia commit. Playing for Divine Baseball, Ty Peoples, the son of Kim and Todd. A couple of times Ty has been All-State. Academics, quick check, 1210 SAT, 4.0 GPA. Way to go, Ty. And little Rick misses outside.
I like watching Ty's his timing right here with the leg kick. He's ready early, good rhythm, soft feet, quiet.
Like an off-speed pitch that popped out of the fingertips and ran away.
I got a comp for you right here that's going to blow your minds, guys. Eric Sogard.
Oh, yeah, got a little bit of that going on, sure. Love comps, by the way. Love comps.
He's a taller Eric Sogard.
Put some glasses on him. Yeah, I think
he could hit, man.
Yeah,
that guy could hit.
He could, you're right.
Big right-hander. Fires that one to the outside corner. Two-sport athlete as he works on the mound, both ways on the baseball field. If he's not pitching, he's catching. He's touched 96, good command, curveball, slider, changeup as well. Talking about Reagan Ricken. And that 3-2 gets a swing and a miss. Quite a bit of arm side run.
Sure was, yeah, absolutely. And that ball starts over the middle of the plate, just keeps running off the outside corner. You think you're going to center it up right here, and that thing just keeps running away. Tough to handle and tough to chase as a hitter as well.
Hi, Nico Partita. I like that smile. Got the chance to know him in depth this week. He's a gold medalist down in Panama. So he's here hitting now. He was 2-0, 12 innings, no runs allowed in winning a gold medal down in Panama in that event on the mound. This is a two-way player. This is a player, Steve, that's going through this evolution where they're almost forcing him to pitch. He's loving pitching, still considers himself a shortstop first, but he's starting to edge into that room where maybe I should pitch.
Yeah,
and
it's
pitch
hard.
more. Rolled out towards short. He is called out that time on an easy chance, turned into an out by the shortstop Billy Carlson. Finish your thoughts, though.
You know, those two-way players, they want to keep playing in the field too. You know, Hunter Green was that way, and we've seen over the years a number of different guys that have done that. From a development point of view, it's very difficult to develop somebody through the minor leagues as a two-way player and do justice to the hitting and position player part of it and the pitching part of it. Now, look, we look at Ohtani and think, well, geez, it can't be that hard. Look how easy he makes it look. It's not easy. And you know, at some point, you have to ultimately put the player in a place where you think he's going to best succeed for himself, which is also in the best interest of the organization.
Look how easy Beethoven makes it look. It's
Yeah,
just why doesn't everybody
It's
do
all
it?
the notes.
Hey there, here's Dax Kilby. Dax gets the call, and Dax has a base hit. He's going to give me a chance to introduce him. First time in the game. He's from Noonan, Georgia. Makes his impact right away. Kilby, a Clemson commit. This is exciting, the son of Carolyn and Brian.
Yeah, just lets it rip. Dax shoots the dagger right back up the middle. A lot of hits going back up the middle, and That's a nice little rip right there to get the East on the base pass right here, looking for a comeback.
And emptying out that second team as a quick swing through the zone for Kilby. Great student, by the way. 10 AP classes in his time throughout his high school journey. He wants to put on about Dax 10 pounds this year and get that 60 below 6'7". Here's another one to introduce you to. It's Kelvin Paulino Jr. from Thomasville, North Carolina. Ledford High School, 5-star Mafia, his travel team. Nice easy fastball zips in there. And Paulina is a Miami commit. A lot of Miami commits in this event. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's a prestigious program, right? Over the years, they've had a lot of great success.
So Paulino's favorite player to watch, and it's been many, many years he's watched him, and as the West looks on, is Manny Machado. Paulino loves Machado. Fun thing about that, Machado is a PG alum. He went to the 09 National Showcase. He threw 89, did Manny Machado, as a pitcher at the National Showcase. And a pretty good career. Not shy of what you could call a Hall of Fame discussion career. Anyway, that's who Paulino likes.
Manny is in that debate and just an absolute smart hitter, and he has been worth every penny the Padres have paid him. Just crazy at bats, great leadership, and it's been a pleasure to watch his career unfold. That's a good one to look up to, young man.
And I think at some point he will be a Hall of Famer, just because he's going to play for a long time, going to log the numbers, and he's a big part of the turnaround this year for the San Diego Padres. Remember, he had the elbow surgery in the offseason, wasn't quite right, took him some time to get back. Everything about him looks like he's feeling great right now.
So Paulino, that is who he looks through the looking glass as he takes that pitch low. Yeah, the draft this year. Look at the All-Americans that were drafted this year. These are men that played in the Classic. Burns and Caglione went on to college, but then high schoolers Griffin, Rayner, Montgomery, Sinchu, a two-way pitcher at the time, Orlando High School. We talked about Braylon Payne, Gillen. All-Americans first round this year.
Love the BHP, both hand pitcher.
How about that?
Yeah,
How about Paulino? Moves to runner to third, took a good aggressive turn and gets back in time. So, couple of
baseball being played right there.
Yeah. Couple of guys hop off the wood, go on to the field off the bench, and two guys with base hits.
Yeah, and this is very vintage Machado himself right there. Maybe even Jeter, little inside out, low line drive down the line. Beautiful approach from Paulino Jr. But watch this right here. Hit your cut. Carlson, he turns the bag hard. Paulino Jr. Carlson rips one to first base and makes a bang bang play. That is solid, clean baseball for an all-star type game.
Big, tall Taylor Tracy. It has not been a boring couple of weeks for him. He's an All-American, and there's more to the excitement, isn't there, Danny?
Imagine that you get a call and say, hey, do you want to go hit with Mark McGwire? Yeah, that Mark McGwire this week before you come to the All-American Classic. I think you're seeing the photo right now of Tracy with Big Mac. He said nobody likes to talk ball more than Big Mac, and his swing still looks the exact same, D.
How fun is that? This is a tall man, by the way, Taylor Tracy, as he shoots that one off to the right side. Austin, Texas is home. Dripping Springs High School. There's a couple from that school at this event. His travel team, Artillery. Ajay Vulameri coaches that artillery program. Sonny and Kevin, his parents. It's an oft-told story that I've told about Mom if I have a chance. So I'll share it with you. But big exit velocity, close to 100 miles an hour at the National Showcase. So Mom's very popular amongst all the friends because every Friday she makes it clear, and it occurs every Friday, she makes homemade chocolate croissants. And the guys can all swing by and
Sign
grab
me
some
up.
homemade chocolate croissants.
I'm in on those, yes.
That's the Friday tradition from Mom. Sonny, there's going to be a line around the neighborhood now. Over the outside corner of that strike three. And a fun reaction there. He's out there grinding, working. Reagan, the two-sport athlete from Temecula, California.
Pretty good pitch right here. Breaking ball right off the outside corner. Caught him looking.
Little Rick.
While you sleep, it's time to raise up, show that evil win weak. We don't turn the other cheek. I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up.
really excited next week to head to the University of Virginia, man, at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Introduce the best 13U players in the land. It's the annual 13U Perfect Game Select Festival. There's the bubblegum logo. Love seeing that and excited. Jeremy Brown and I will have a debut episode this week on Perfect Game TV, a roster reveal where we introduce the best players. Then Jeremy and I will broadcast that game next Sunday from the University of Virginia. It's going to be fun to go on campus in Charlottesville. You were talking about this, Hunter Pence.
Yeah, what a throw from Southacene and right, and hits Billy Carlson, hits his cutoff man perfectly. Carlson turns and sees Paulino Jr. pulling a little bit too far, and ain't nothing safe out here on the base pass. That was crispy clean.
But that's good, solid baseball, right? Outfielder getting in position, got around the baseball, strong throw from Southacene. Perfect position on the cutoff and the transfer. And listen, for Paulino, good piece of hitting on his part.
Heads up.
Then the aggressive turn. If the throw did go to third base, maybe he can advance to second. He got back into first safely, so really good baseball all around.
More good baseball from Austin Weiss on the mound as we introduce the Maryland man. University of Maryland commit, and he throws high and way, way inside. Boy, I hope he's okay. We're just getting to know Diego Velasquez. He's just entered the game. He just turned 17 years old, and that overthrown fastball got him in the ear flap. Oh, that's scary, guys. Really scary.
Doesn't even go down. He just picks his helmet back up, smiles, and starts on getting rid of the gear.
I'm glad they're sending a base runner in.
LJ Edwards. Yeah, LJ Edwards will go out. They'll check on Velasquez. We'll talk more about him because there's a lot to talk about. A USC commit, again, just turned 17. His love and passion for the game, and it's just really cool that we've gotten to know about him. That one is high and away. Seth Hernandez.
And for Velasquez, I just want to say, this is why I think wearing the face guard is just so smart. That just saved him so much. Yep. And, you know, if you don't have that face guard, who knows what could have happened to your jaw right there. So I'm a big advocate. I used it later in my career, and it actually, there's science behind that. It actually helps you laser focus more on the baseball. So I saw better with the face guard.
And that's jarring, too, for Austin Weiss, right? I mean, that wasn't his intent. He's just first time, big league mound, trying to get comfortable. That's very jarring. Yeah, you can see a big exhale there.
Yeah, how many times do you see pitchers then really have some issues after that? So, you know, for him to regroup, important as well. I hope Velasquez gets checked out. Maybe I can get him at a bat again later in the game.
I kind of thought the same thing, even if we bend the rules.
Yeah,
like,
I would agree.
You know, when you have a showcase game, you do what's right. And first of all, most importantly, let's hope he's okay. There's some great stories to tell about his Mexican heritage and who he is. And
well, he's tough, I can tell you that.
You gleaned that, did you?
Yeah.
Seth Hernandez, who feels like he's been playing every position. There he is. Good signs. We got to see Diego again. Let's get him another at bat.
I would tell you, I wouldn't be comfortable as a left-handed hitter right now. You know, I was a left-handed hitter, and what we see right now is when he's missing Weiss, he's missing arm side up and into the left-handers.
Yeah, the son of Sherry Stissel Weiss and Andrew Weiss. Wrecking ball.
And that's so unfair. Then you throw, you throw up and in, then you throw a slider right at that front shoulder, break it over the plate.
But Marshawn catching, you got to call fastballs away at this point. Maybe some breaking balls inside.
Yeah, when you're messing with that fastball, the old pitcher in me looks back college and minor league years. That breaking ball sometimes can reset you.
Yeah,
absolutely. You want to think yourself, get out in front and really get the extension on it, be able to spin the ball a little bit, get a feel for it.
His fastball, not a ton of spin, which means you'll see it sink at the plate. Is that breaking ball? Cruz Schoolcraft with a base hit. Is it a base hit and an RBI? You bet it is. The throw is to the cutoff man. So 6 feet 8 inches tall and swinging the bat. Cruz Schoolcraft.
And it looked like Schoolcraft gave him a little look after he got another fastball inside. And it was a down one, but he gave him a little look like you're going to come back with that front door breaking ball. And it looks like he sat on it and gets it right here. wiggles it in, but that's that front door breaking ball after a fastball to the head of the first batter, Velasquez, and then he sees a fastball inside, and what a tough cookie.
But I'll tell you what about Schoolcraft. We're talking about 6'8", 6'9". We saw him pitch, the delivery, the smoothness, and then the at-bat, the ability to make an adjustment during the swing to be able to make the contact, put it in play. There's a lot of athleticism there for such a big man.
Yeah, just moves his body really coordinated.
Good breaking ball, uncomfortable swing. Lucas Franco's second opportunity. He walked first time up. Franco would love to up that size to about 190 pounds by graduation. And he's finding the touch and feel with the secondary pitch to get back on track.
I've been there. I've been there. I've been there, man, a lot.
Oh,
you walk back, you feel like you just gave up an at-bat. You just didn't really put a competitive at-bat in there. Just got to shake it off, be ready for the next time.
Broxell. And by the way, the runner there for Velasquez was actually Slater DeBrun. I want to point that out. DeBrun, number 13 on the West team, a Vanderbilt commit, and also a gold medalist as that fastball dots the outside corner. Slater went out there and ran. He's got a hand injury, can't play in the game. He is so much passionately following the journey of Corbin Carroll. He's from the Northwest and plays a lot like him, Slater DeBrun.
He reminded me of Johnny Damon when I saw him in the Nationals, that you know, that sort of slashing approach at the plate like Corbin Carroll has. I was very impressed by DeBrun.
I'm impressed by the comeback here for this left-hander. And it's the breaking ball that's been his tool.
Yep, and he's getting that breaking ball, strike the ball, and Broxell, who had that really good two-strike at bat, his last time up, choked up, not able to get it this time.
Fly ball, well struck center field. Eli Willits puts it on the ride, but that one is run down out there, turned perfectly. Centered up underneath that one and hauled that one in. Taylor Tracy out there doing his thing, playing center field. Back of the yard, Hunter, Danny, Steve, Darren, you, Dylan. Elk Grove, California's Dylan Wood. One of the joys for me of the National Showcase was watching him pitch for the first time. It was followed up by a lengthy interview for MLB Network Radio that I was able to have, and I'm hooked on Dylan Wood. Franklin High School Wow Factor National. He's another University of Arizona commit. What'd you like about him when you saw him in July?
Well, to me, I think he's all arms, legs, and hair coming at you with that. But, you know, he's got a little different arm angle, a little lower slot, and he's got a little sling to him. But, man, the ball comes out of his hand and explodes on the hitters. He's a big presence on the mound as well.
Dylan Wood is fun. He is all sorts of fun, funky, dandy. What else do you have on him?
Yeah, well, this is a guy, he said, I'm aggressive. on the mound. I like to pound the zone. I know my stuff is good. I'm trying to load more in my back leg right now. D, he said I still have that leg kick, but it's a little bit higher, but I'm loading back. He said it makes me a little bit more deceptive. I've got that natural movement, but the other part of him, guys, off the field, I wanted you to know, he goes fishing with his grandpa in Sacramento. He said, my grandpa inspires me. He's here. I saw his family, by the way, behind home plate. All of them had their phones out ready to see him go.
Oh, love it. Great stuff, Danny. So glad you're down there. What a great story. We get to meet another Dylan. Dylan against Dylan. This one from Florida, Dylan Dubovic. He's a Miami commit. It's a big arm. It's American Heritage High School through 100 from the outfield, 101. It's a pretty big bat, but he's in the hole 0-2.
Wow. I mean, he comes out throwing all those fastballs, warming up, and then he throws a couple hammers at him that are just
these sliders are taking
nasty.
They're taking some left turns.
Bouncing ball, third base line, 93 miles an hour. Boy, how about those note takers?
Pens are hitting the paper.
He's going to need a chin strap for the hat, though, I think. But it is his. Wow, he does really rear back, right? He rocks back.
Listen, baseball is something else. He's got some style. He's got some swag, and he has the funk.
That creates a little deception too.
Oh
doesn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
It's a presence.
Just in and off the plate, 2-2 the count. Dubovic dealing with this delivery.
Let it rip.
Another Dylan lets it rip down the line at 101 miles an hour.
He's having fun too. I love it. That's the one thing, you know, even last half inning with the struggles for Whites, he came off the mound smiling, you know, and I love it. So, you know, he found some struggles, but he found his way out of it and came out smiling. I love that.
Oh, backed off that time. The bottom falls out at the plate. That's strike 3.
One little Laredo right there. Dropped the arm slot down even a little bit lower on that pitch. Watch, he's coming up. Everything was over the top of the sidearm.
Look at that changeup. That's the changeup right there, dude. You talk about electric. The teammates want to watch him pitch. He's having fun out there. He's like, oh, you want to rip my slider? All right. How about the cambio?
He's a big personality, though. The other guys really look at that.
Deep is 70. This is old school, baby.
Jaden Foskey gets the call to swing the bat for one shortstop in Illinois. So, by the way, the changeup with the dip and dive on the mound, but then right back at you with the sinker at 95.
Yeah,
that was
I'm
a sinker at 95.
70 mile an hour ephus to 95. He's just playing out there. He's giggling.
To me, it's the way the teammates are reacting. I mean, think about it. These guys from all over the country. They've been to events together, but they're all rooting for him. Everybody's on the top step of the dugout. They can't wait to see this.
You can't have that kind of motion, that kind of hair, and not have some kind of personality.
Absolutely.
That everyone's top stepping you in the 8th inning up 7-2.
Fastball runs high and away. That's ball 4. So elusive the command for a moment. Big spirited man. And again, he did an interview. He was in downtown San Francisco in his car when I interviewed him. His dad Sean was with him. His mom, by the way, is Charlene. And it was a wonderful conversation. It just so passionate about the game, as is this man. Here's Jaden Stroman again. Stroman, a rocket shot to right field. 108 off the bat, and into the corner it goes. He stops out there at second base. Stroman with a double and an RBI. What a beautiful swing for Jaden Stroman.
Oh, you got that right. Lefty on righty, and the sidearm doesn't really match up, and Stroman just takes a beautiful rip. 108 off the bat, and that is clean. RBI double right there.
Well, after watching all of the change-ups and the ephus pitch, he's like, let me get a fastball. When I see it, let me jump on it. And he rips it down into the right field corner. Good piece of hitting.
Right there, the Jaden combo. Jaden Foskey scoring all the way from first for the East.
And now we see Owen Jenkins score. Boy, that was electric. That's one of the moments of this game when that ball's hit that hard. As that one misses down and away against a gifted arm. He was ready for what he saw, though. Owen Jenkins again.
for me, as a following the Giants a lot this season with these mechanics, and you see him, if he's able to dial this in from Dylan Wood, a lot of Ryan Walker, who's now having an excellent season for the Giants. Bullpen.
I was going to say relief pitcher, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sidearm, just a sinker and a slider. He doesn't have the changeup, but closing out some games now as Camilo Duvall has been sent down for a little touch-up on the mechanics.
We've talked a lot about Owen Jenkins and his rise in the rankings, and he takes ball 4, so
he takes the EFIS 72 changeup.
I think you need to check the ball after this one. I think the ball might be hurt more than he is. Look at that. Yeah.
I like that.
The yoga Pilates, he's got.
I love it. He's jacked, this kid. He's strong.
Hey, by the way, he's quite an inspirational story, too, as Mario Magana hits. Runners on first and second for Magana. Right back to the screen. Back out to Jenkins at first. The strength, how he's chiseled his body, how he's grown in the rankings. He's also a type 1 diabetic, and he has had to work through that as a young athlete, too. His response, it's actually just had me more focused on taking care of myself. He sees it as a positive. He sees it as glass half full. I just make better choices because of that, he said.
And that's the kind of attitude, is finding the silver lining, and you love to know the mental of an athlete is, I'm going to make the best out of this situation no matter what, and that's impressive.
So much of baseball is dealing with failure and adversity, and you have to reframe the way you look at things, right? So sometimes those things that are the biggest challenges could lead to ultimately the biggest gifts, and for him, it's allowed him to be more focused and healthier with his lifestyle, which will give him a longer career.
It's another one, just meeting all these athletes throughout this year. National Hispanic Merit Scholar, too, so bilingual. I'm just going to keep impressing you with the resumes.
Yeah, they got some really big resumes. There's a lot of kids that are easy to root for.
Big chance for Magana. Let's see if he can turn that one around. Not that time, though. Out front. This one dies at the plate.
And continuing to work on that changeup, and it is a circus pitch. And Mario Magana, what a beautiful swing right there. The helmet goes flying and not able to bite that one off.
Ty Peoples. Slider goes the other way. Not a changeup down, but a slider running in.
You know, we've seen a lot of catchers struggle catching pitchers today, and I have to believe that it was not that easy a guy to pitch. Fauska's done a nice job behind the plate, being able to manage it.
I don't want to. This isn't a soapbox thing, so don't take it as such, but it's just fun watching catchers call a game. That one struck. Ty Peoples, deep right field. Peoples off the wall. A couple of runs will score. Look at Ty around the bases, headed towards third. A triple for Peoples, and things just got interesting.
You got that right, Darren. This ball was launched, and Peoples knows it off the bat right here. That's the fastball up and away. Pitch was located exactly where he wanted it, but Peoples was looking for that heater and did not miss it. A line drive to the bottom of the wall, and the East is back in the ball game.
Yeah, Peoples has a really good swing. Keeps the bat through the zone for a long time. Good piece of hitting right there, driving it to the gap.
Nico Partita gets the call. Peoples with the triple.
Now the East have the time run at home plate. Make it interesting.
Look at all those Peoples. They're excited. They're excited.
Well, I think some part of the West celebrating Wood on the mound got the East, I think, they did take it a little personal. And they've responded.
Ball out to the left side. Boy, that took a high hop. Holiday, boy, he's fluid. Makes it look
that made
easy.
It look easy. That was not easy.
So it's that change of pace. It was the fastball that Peoples was ready for, but for Mr. Wood, I don't know if anybody was ready for that. Bugs Bunny in the building.
players want to maximize their potential,
they are chasing the wrong thing.
Being better is personal.
What works for one player doesn't work for all players.
Players need to be told what they're good at, what they're not good at, and what they need to work on.
they need to be given a personalized plan to help them get to where they want to be.
That's how players get better.
That's how they maximize their potential.
That's how they become great.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us as we build the future of intelligent players.
The 2024 Perfect Game All-American Classic is brought to you by Yacker Tech. You bring it, we track it. By Loco Cookers, innovative outdoor cooking products built for the backyard. By Soldier Sports, the official metal bat of Perfect Game. And by G-Form, the most comfortable, protective guards in all of baseball. Go next level. Never has a zero been called upon and so important. When your team is coming back in a game, they look to Jordan Martin, who makes his classic debut out of Jefferson City, Missouri, and an Arkansas commit. Plays for that Royal Scout team, and that's a good one. Brett Bailey is travel coach. This year he said, look, 24-25, when I go back to school, here are my goals. It's three things: flexible, strength, and explosion. I want to add more to the mound, but a wonderful chance, Hunter, as we were saying, to just put a zero up while your team's climbing back in.
Absolutely, those are great goals, and what a wonderful. He's got that athletic body and a big frame. Add some strength, add some flexibility, and work on those skills.
Yeah, just taking a look at him. Again, the word we used a lot today is projectability, right? That ability to fill out. And you know what scouts do is they evaluate a player today, then they close their eyes and dream about what they think he can become. And what he is today, what he become then, in between his development, physical development and on the field development.
Braden Jackson gets the call first to try and add on for the West team, his second at bat. Braden, as we talked about earlier, plays for Rob Bruno's NorCal team, 6'6" as a catcher. Put up really good metrics. Good pop time, 189 through 84 from the crouch. I always find that intriguing at Perfect Game showcases where, you know, you put a radar gun where you're getting the pop time. There's a lot of people that would just love to throw 84 standing up.
Right.
Let alone come out of a crouch throwing 84. That's what this hitter has done. That's crazy.
At 6'6" as well. A 6'6" catcher, I can't even imagine getting into that position.
You know, it was funny, they never used to draft big catchers because they thought they couldn't set up a low target. But with the new way of catching, with being able to put one knee down and the way they can position themselves, the bigger catchers come in. And Joe Mauer really was one of the first really big catchers, you know, as he grew behind the plate. But the bigger catchers are now accepted around the game and when scouting. And look, at some point when they have the automatic ball strike system, receiving the ball is not going to matter, right? You know, framing is not going to matter. It's going to be the computer calling balls and strikes.
I don't like that. That's sad. Don't talk about that.
Well, they're going to be hitters. You're going to have just another hitter behind the plate
I don't
with a
like
strong
that.
arm.
Can we just do the appeal for an occasional pitch and still love framing it? Maybe.
Yeah, the skill and the art of framing it's a beautiful thing, and catchers change the game so much.
He lifts that one off to the right side. Tell me we can't possibly. That we're just not going to go all auto.
I think they'll go to the appeal system.
Yay!
I think that they'll do that.
You guys are like experts around the big leagues.
They will.
So.
They'll likely go that route.
Am I crazy, Hunter? Is it just going to go all automatic, you think?
Maybe, but I think I do too, and I think we're a long ways away from that. I do think that what they're testing in the minors right now, the appeal system, is probably going to be coming soon, which I think is kind of fun. It keeps the game going quickly, similar to tennis. It's like, I think that was in. Let's look at it. Boom. Let's go.
All right, I'm all right. Don't take framing away. Hard ground ball, and that slips right on into center field. Sitting up here calling games in the major leagues for a long time. I got to do it for 15 years. It was always fun to watch that. As silly as it sounds, the hard ground ball, base hit, 98 off the bat. But the moment it was on the ground, I knew it was going to get through.
Ground ball up the middle. It's a good approach. Hit the ball where it's pitched. Get yourself a base runner. Try to respond to that 3-run inning the East just had, and you got to answer.
There's our friend Slater DeBrun. We were talking about him. He gets to run again. I'm glad he got out onto the field a second time. As Tate Southasine takes 1-0 the count. DeBrun running out there at first, as we talked about. Left-handed hitter. He's from Bend, Oregon. Number 3 outfielder in the nation overall. Because of a broken digit, a hand injury, he's unable to play in this game. And there is a bright, bright future. There's Ty Southasine, MVP of last year's game. Ooh. Laser beam. Tate 107 off the bat. With Big Bro looking on. Nice play in left to get it back into the cutoff man. Aggressive turn, maybe too aggressive. Got him! Oh, what a heads-up play defensively, coming all the way back around. And a massive out. Let's watch this play.
Yeah, huge out. Ripped in the corner. Tate Southasine's a player, man. We saw him in the outfield with a hose. Then he rips one down the line right there. He's hustling around to second base. But a big turn around third base. A little over-aggressive by Van Brunnen, and ultimately out at third.
And Dax Kilby came in and made the tag out there.
That's fantastic.
Ty Peoples, that name again, that special Peoples out there, made the play in left, getting it back in. And I'm sorry, that was a lightning bolt off the bat.
Yeah, Southasine last year, his brother, the MVP of the Classic, and he's coming in off the bench hot. Rips that one down the line, making some defensive plays as well. Pretty special, talented family.
Back-to-back hard-hit baseballs.
I really like Tate Southasine. Watching him in the Nationals now today, he is a good player.
Mason Pike over the top of that one. He had walked in his first at bat. This time he goes down on strikes. J. Mart finding the touch on the fastball.
High heat, sneaks the cheese by. Got that short arm delivery, little deception.
Leanne Martin, Jose Martin, this pitcher's parents, as that one shoots inside. 2 older sisters, 2 older brothers. He is the baby of 5 as he faces Bruin Agbayani. One and one the count. There's some inspiration for Jordan Martin every time he heads out to the field, for sure, as that breaking ball dives down and away. He's lost 2 of his biggest supporters in both baseball and basketball, his grandfather and his uncle recently, and he said they've come to all my games. He said it's an honor for me to play my hardest. I know they're still watching. I want to make them proud. Well, that gets on you quick, Hunter, from that arm angle. You don't expect that from out there.
It's a little bit unique, and you know, that short arm delivery can sneak up on you. Sneaky fastball.
That short arm delivery is something that's more in vogue now than ever before.
Pretty good pitch called off the plate. Agbayani earns the walk. Wearing number 50, honoring Hawaii. That's a cool thing. Danny, what else is cool about Bruin?
That is so cool. So Agbayani is Filipino, guys. He's from Hawaii, but his last name is Filipino, and his grandma told him when he was younger that his last name means hero. I just thought that was so cool. And you guys talked about his dad earlier, but I said, what do you want to achieve in this next year? He said, I just want to win a championship, a state championship with my dad. And I said, what do you call him when you're on the field? He said, I just call him Dad or Pop. I don't have to call him Coach, guys.
Yeah, good stuff. That's a good reminder, Danny. His dad is his head coach at Iolani High School.
And Benny wore 50 when he played for the Mets back then. Again, honoring Hawaii. Ran into him yesterday at the banquet on the field and talked to him a little bit. And you know, he said, I'm just loving life, coaching with my kids, and coach softball, now coaching the Bruins team.
Good pitch, that fastball with heavy arm side run down and away. Good effort keeping it clean. J. Martin, nice to watch you work in the All-American Classic.
Wow. wow. Oh, it feels brand new. That's crazy. I feel no pain, nothing. That's like crazy. Zero pain, zero.
Yo, that's crazy, dude.
Like I can't feel my traps anymore because they've been going and they're super loose now. But my legs, it almost feels like somebody's just like pump, pump, pump. It feels like you're getting a massage, free massage.
Choose my pros, no better way to go.
The weather is warm and it's the perfect time of year to cook outside. Loco Smart Temp griddles provide precise and controllable griddle surface temperatures ranging from 250 degrees all the way up to a sear setting. The cooking temperature always stays exactly where you set it, so your meal always comes out just right. Cultivating great experiences is part of our DNA, and everyone has a seat at our table, so pull up a chair. Cook faster and party longer with Loco cookers.
Well, he slotted in the ninth because they had a list of pitchers that had to work, but it comes down to be a fun ninth. So we introduce you to Angel Cervantes at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. We tell you he's from Linwood, California. He is headed to UCLA. He has made his commitment to Coach Savage. John Savage, a pitching genius. So Cervantes with just a 2-run lead. Angel, Warren High School, GBG National. One of 7 athletes out of the Garcia Parra Baseball Group program to be in this game. Quentin Young, Brady Eagle, Anthony Pack, Zach Strickland, Reagan Rickett, Brett Crossan, Tate Southasine, GBG Vegas, and Angel Cervantes. That's a good program Mr. Garcia Parra is running there. Here's Cervantes.
I think putting together a program near Corona High School is probably not the worst idea either, because you know it's like having a team meeting when your ace is on the mound the next day. Let me put together a program around Corona High School, and I'll look really good.
Good talent out that way.
That's fun stuff. Michael, by the way, Garcia Parra has traveled to this game and is here. Dax Kilby takes a pitch just off the plate.
Kilby had a base hit up the middle last time. Really good approach. Starting off a big inning to see if he can't do it again.
He hopped off the bench quickly, and there was a lot of noise and fun right out of the gates. He and Paulino both. How about that changeup?
Love a good changeup, and man, Angel's got the mechanics dialed in nicely. You just tell he's put in the work in the mirror.
Line drive, center field. The changeup was good, but guess what? The approach was better. Nice job staying back.
He's a good hitter. Kilby's a good, really good hitter. That's a great approach. And, you know, he saw the changeup, and now this time keeps his hands back, goes right back up the middle with it. That's the second time we've seen him take that approach. Nice level swing. Bat stays in the zone for a long time. That's an excellent piece of hitting right there.
And so now, Paulino Jr., North Carolina man, Miami commit. He represents a tying run. We always warn young athletes about social media, but Cervantes used it in a positive way. He started posting as a younger high schooler some of his outings. That's where John Savage, UCLA coach, saw him. Bouncing ball, long way to go. Middle of the diamond, it's a base hit center field. Well, these two have just been trouble. They're combined 4 for 4.
They have. Paulino ripped one down the right field line last time up and goes back up the middle with it right here. Again, another off-speed pitch, just beyond the reach. Good base running by Kilby, understanding he cannot make the first out at third base. Holds up at second base right there. First and second, nobody out.
Yeah, and the run behind him is what matters most, so you're right. Heads up base runner right there, and tying run on first.
Brock Kettleson made a diving attempt and nearly got there. Here is Taylor Tracy. There is some thunder in this bat. As he takes outside, 1-0 the count.
We showed he worked with Mark McGuire before coming here, so let's see what Big Mac taught him.
Walk-off homer. Dare you?
Nolan Gorman's homered in this event. We've looked back in the past and seen it. Joey Gallo homered at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. There have been some fun homers, but not a walk-off homer. To the right side.
Come on, baby.
This is always such an honor, the moments to call this game. This is the 17th year in a row I've been able to call this game. Children have been born and gone on to college since I was lucky enough to start this one. We're not letting you go anywhere, by the way.
It's been a pleasure and such great memories. And fun to watch the great talent and watch them grow up.
2-2 the count on Tracy. Pressure time for Cervantes. Breaking ball left it hanging, but it's foul. Hey, by the way, we want to send a get well to our good friend David Ronsley, who was going to join us in the booth. Steve was nice enough to hop over from MLB Network Radio to join us. David's been a part of this game as well for a long time. Get well, D. We miss you out here. One of the great, he's like a 35-year scout, vice president of player personnel for Perfect Game. But
definitely miss him this year.
Absolutely.
Another opportunity in between hop, unable to make the play, and everybody's safe.
The pressure continues to add up for the West right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. The East seems like they're on a mission right now to get back in this ball game, playing with conviction. And that's a tough hop right there.
Yeah, really tough hop. It's kind of a do-or-die play by Nyans and just not able to get to make the play. But the energy shift from the dugout, right? The West dugout when Wood was on the mound, where they were chirping at the top step. Now the East getting really excited in the first base dugout.
We got a ball game.
And Dubovic takes a slider away from Cervantes. Unable to make the play out there with Xavier Nyans. It was a tough in-between top hop for the top third baseman in the land. Dubovic from Florida takes outside. 2-0 the count. Miami commit. 3 home runs at the 17U WWBA in Georgia. That's a massive total for that one-week event. Middle of the diamond. Charging, fielding, firing. It's a 1-run game. 7-6 is the score, as that is turned into an out that time by Franco.
No chance at a double play right here?
Yeah, I mean, he might be able to toss it to second baseman right there, but goes ahead and make sure you get one.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have been an awkward flip, just the location of that chopper, and I'm at peace with that decision.
Yeah,
Get you out, but you're still in trouble here.
Infield drawn into the cut of the grass. Changeup, strike one. Yikes, what a good first pitch. Oh, baby.
We're going to have to cook a little bit, Angel.
You know, he was sitting on a fastball right there, and he comes in with the changeup. Very intelligent pitch.
He follows up the changeup with another 0-2.
Hasn't seen a fastball yet. And that one, front door, comes back, catches the corner.
You think high fastball right here?
I'd like to see a high heater, but the RTI is definitely something to be concerned about. The RTI is the run thrown in.
Yep.
You don't have a lot of work together with your catcher.
Trent Grinlinger behind home plate.
Big lead off a second.
0-2, breaking ball, line drive, base hit. They'll stop the runner at third. Tumbling down at home plate, he heads back to the bag. We are tied at 7. It was a huge aggressive turn coming on around, but they stopped Taylor Tracy. We're tied.
Well, Tracy had a big lead off a second because they're playing the infield in, right? So he's able to get the jump on it. Had to wait to make sure it gets through. But a strong, quick, he got to the ball quickly in left field. To be able to come up and make the throw, I think the right decision to hold him right there. Throws a little bit offline, but I think the right decision with one out, now runners on first and third.
Yeah, the outfielder had the ball before he got to third base, and that's kind of the, that's your ticket right there. Has he gotten to third before the outfielder has the ball? And so I think it's a good hold, even though the throw wasn't there. And give your batter another chance to drive him in.
There might have been a thought that at some point there might have been an MVP of this game. I don't know, there's some interesting guys like a Dean Moss, great play, triple and RBI. Jaden Stroman, you know what he's saying right now? I demand a recount. I demand a recount, because if he walks this baby off, he already juiced the ball into the corner. That's your MVP if he walks it off.
He's got the opportunity is knocking.
This is what we've seen on the mound. This is fun. I mean, this is the future of the game, velocity-wise. We've lived it. And by the way, look on down the list. That name, Cruz Schoolcraft, if you've just joined us, that's a left-hander throwing that hard.
6'8", 6'9" left-hander throwing that hard.
It's been saucy. East Coast likes it.
Runners on first and third. He'll pick off throw, and he threw it away! And the East will win it! A game that has been dominated the last decade by the West squad. The East is the beast now. They are victorious. What a comeback! The East wins the perfect game. All-American classic. Oh, Hunter, they're going to tell him not to go in the pool.
They're about to get shut down. They send it and the security comes. They've been here. They've seen that.
Oh, I love it. Surprised there aren't horses coming out down there.
I mean, what a comeback. The last 2 innings, credit to these East Coasters to grind out 2 big innings and erase a 5-run deficit?
It was a 5-run, 7-2 at one point. They come storming back with 6 unanswered runs. And just so much fun, right? The idea that they really wanted to win in a showcase event. And here it comes, the trying to hold the runner close, the pickoff. And again, that runner didn't mean anything at that point, right? 7-7 game, man on third. The runner at first didn't really mean anything. Trying to keep him close, maybe to get a double play to see if he can get out of it. But you know what? If I'm Stroman, I'm like, no. I wanted to swing the bat right
You
there.
wanted to see the actual play, and unfortunately, the run thrown in comes back to haunt him right there, and the walk-off pickoff. Haven't seen that one in a while, but we saw it here tonight.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Sean Gamble went out there to pinch run, so it was Gamble that scored that winning run. Right away, he picked it up.
Well, you don't want to gamble with that runner on third. You want to make sure you have some speed out there.
Well, they took a gamble, and it paid off.
We'll step aside. There's a recount on the MVP. Somebody else has grabbed it. I think if the West won, it would have been Dean Moss. A comeback for the East. They're back on the board. So the MVP shifts when you have a comeback like that. Danny Wexelman, who is the MVP? Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, Dee, how exciting is this? Dax Kilby is the MVP of the All-American Classic. Luis Gonzalez, who's standing by here, the World Series hero for the Arizona Diamondbacks, just handed him this beautiful trophy. You led the charge for that rally for Team East. Walk us through how those late innings went for you.
I was just trying to get on base, by the way, because we've been down the whole game. And we were just trying to get on base, start the rally up.
Yeah, you guys trailed most of this game, but you found a way. What were the conversations in the dugout leading into the later innings?
We all just knew we needed to get on base. We need to score runs, obviously. It starts by getting on base.
Hey, how fun is this for you to be an event like this, and now you're standing here with the MVP trophy?
It's huge. Like, especially with their win streak going, it's amazing to break that.
You guys did break that. What are you going to say to your teammates, by the way, when you get back to the dugout?
It's going to get hype. Get ready. I mean, it's great to win.
Last one for you. Your swing is so confident, looks so comfortable up there. What have you been working on leading up to this moment?
Lots of hitting the ball deep and just staying in the middle of the field. Try to drive the ball in the middle of the field.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
D, back to you.
Good stuff. 8 of the last 9 had been won by the West squad. The East squad wanted to come back and win it. There's a million takeaways, a million. I hate to pin you down for one, but give me one takeaway that you have.
Well, I love that from Dax Kilby. What were you trying to do? Just go back up the middle. What did he do? He hit 2 balls. You could see the intent. Just a line drive on a changeup. He backed up the changeup, shoots the line drive up the middle, and shoots a ground ball up the middle in his first at bat. Beautiful approach, and you see what it did for him.
Yeah, and for me, I just think the extraordinary talent. This class of 2025 has some extraordinary talent. When you start looking ahead to the draft, to college baseball, baseball in such good hands. You've got power arms, power bats, speed on the bases, guys with strong arms in the outfield, extraordinary talent in the class of 2025.
What a celebration of baseball. It's been an incredible week for these athletes. We love their families. That's the best part, getting to know them, those that mentored them and brought them to this point. Here's the best part. Their senior years start now. They're now going to go back. Those 4.0s, those AP classes, that's all going to be in play. We'll see them at the World Wood Bat Association Championship in October in Jupiter. This has been the future of the game, the 2025 draft. Danny Wexelman down below. Steve Phillips, Hunter Pence, Jason Cardona, our producer. Everyone with PG, everyone with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and with Perfect Game. My name is Darren Sutton for the 17th time. Thanks for watching the PG All-American Classic.